Okay, let's see here. And it looks like everything's working now. Sweet, 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 sweet. Meow. That's weird. Next, that's weird. Chat interaction doesn't always happen. At least during one of these. How you doing? It does look like I have somebody in the actual room with me, Austin. Uh, they're currently muted, so I do not know if they are here. But time for another casting workshop. We had the opportunity to do every Monday, of course, and today being Memorial Day, it's not the most convenient Monday for a lot of people. So that's beyond fine. That's perfectly fine. I don't expect too many people to be here. So it may end up being more of a let's review VODs together. Let's take a look and dissect. Maybe a little bit of my own personal dissection of myself. Granted, I don't know of too many VODs I have currently that are
Mhm.
available for myself. Howdy. Is this Austin?
Yes, it is.
Howdy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. Happy Memorial Day. And of course, you are a friend of Biggles.
Correct.
And you're getting into more of the F1 casting. So that's a lot of fun. How long have you been doing that or attempting to do that?
Maybe, well, F1, this is my first year. Otherwise, I've never done this for about 2, 3 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So yeah, go ahead.
I started F1 maybe 2 months ago.
Okay. What other experience do you have?
Other than the Saudi Arabia race, that's it.
Well, I mean, what other experience do you have outside of F1? Because
Oh,
it sounded.
uh,
Did you say that you had more, or?
yeah, yeah. I casted about 3 years ago. I started casting when I was looking for it. I decided to go with like an easy sport to do. Well, there was NASCAR, there was F1, not F1, MLB,
Ah,
and
so kind of just been getting around different sports simulation games. Aha. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, Biggles in here. How you doing, my friend?
Good, mate. I'm just here to have a nice listen and always take your advice because you're a legend. And thank you very much for casting me the other day. I studied a lot from that.
Hey, you know what?
So yeah,
It's
I
always
threw puns at you, mate, and you just go you pun back, and that I see we flowed that way. But yeah, I'm happy to just. I'm actually eating my dinner at the moment, so I'm just happy to have a listen and stuff like that. Because I mean, we are going to be casting later on. Austin and I will be casting an F1 race later on, so together.
Is that like what, an hour away? 2 hours?
About 2 hours, right, Austin? I believe. I think, give or take.
yeah, about 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll be broadcasting and Austin will be co-casting it with me. Anyway, I'm not sure if it's going to be live because that's a bit of a debate that's going on with the Twitch thing right now. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm just going to listen and eat my dinner if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. In fact, if I remember right, I'll answer this question right off the top because I said I would. But Biggles asked the question. It was about 3 days ago, a few days ago now.
Yes, that's right.
Listens to a lot of casters, including oneself, saying a lot of so and but to fill pauses as we are thinking about what to say next. And yeah, I agree. They are still better than the ums, because ums is mostly pointless. Any ideas on what we can work on to avoid using those words all the time? And I personally come from the mentality of if you're using a word outside of the reason you should use it, you're developing yourself a bad habit. So people will use so, just like I did right there, as kind of a transitional, a pivot point, or they'll use but as a opportunity to pivot their idea into the next portion, usually a contradiction. Um, And yes, they can be used properly in that manner. The problem becomes when you start overusing them and you end up sounding like I don't know, a 90s Nelly song, but, never mind. I
I thought it'd be
apologize.
like one of those '90s girls that go, so like he likes me, so
Yeah, like,
and I think I'm gonna go. So yeah, sorry.
exactly, though. You are right on there proper. I truly believe that the best thing to do, and Taco and Vaudable both came in with really good answers. Pausing is likely the best answer for it, because for me personally, the way that I use is I will go through and I will slow down my personal pacing. It draws in the attention of the person who you are talking to or the audience with which you are having a conversation. And during that time, one of two things either happens. Either they're really pessimist and they realize, oh, this person's slowing down. Or a lot of the time, what's going to happen is they are going to look at this and be like, okay, they're slowing down. There must be something really important about to be said. When in actuality, 80% of the time, I'm just thinking of what to say next and trying to make it as smooth and as clear as I possibly can, without any ands, buts, so's, ums. The more that you can cut those down, because they are words and phrases that can very well be overused, the better off you're going to be. So I will always encourage... You'll notice I'm kind of guilty of the so in particular.
We all are.
But
Yeah. But you're right.
Like, you do have a lot of conjunctives that end up permeating your commentary. The biggest thing is trying to mix those up so that everything remains fresh. And if there is one thing I feel is most important in a broadcast, and this is just my personal opinion, it is the ability to keep what words you are saying fresh. The moment you repeat something 3 times in under a minute, it's going to get pretty stale, and it won't take Stevie Wonder to find it. It's not going to be something that is less obvious than it was when you said it twice. That's the biggest thing.
That makes sense. The lady that teaches me a lot of the coaching, she also, because I asked her about the so thing, and she said, print out a bunch of words that replace so.
Yeah.
And I do have it print and put next to a computer, and then like I look at it and try to replace those words, the so words, with other like adjectives and things like that. But that's to me still hard, because I'm looking at a list and then I'm taking my focus away from action. Depending if it's Rocket League and stuff, it's go, as you know.
Yes.
Formula One races can be go at certain parts, and they can get a little bit boring in other parts, and other racing and stuff like that too. But yeah, I think I noticed you did do it in the stream that we did together as well. Mm-hmm. Like, you paused for a second, because I'm not quite sure if you didn't know what to say or you were trying to think of something to come back, but you didn't like and or whatever.
Yeah.
To fill the breaker, you just paused, and I thought, I listened to that and go, yeah, he's not knowing necessarily what to say, or maybe laughing or something like that or whatever, but you didn't just flow it up with fumbling per se. You just, and it came straight back at it. That's why I learned a lot from that. But you're absolutely right. Like, it's obviously we're gonna ums and buts and so's now, but because we're not casting something.
The number one thing that I would say between Taco and Vaudable that you should pick up is the word flexibility.
Okay.
Because the more flexible you are in a moment, whether it be the onslaught of offense that's coming at you in bright and shiny colors of boost, brilliant displays of defense, etc. It's total nonstop action. I think we've established that Rocket League is one of the most unique esports there is, because it is a sport all its own. But the more flexible you are, the easier it is to pivot and transition into the goal call, transition to your teammate. And I find that proper use of slowing down your voice, slowing down what you're trying to say in that moment where you're not 100% clear is an amazing thing to do for two reasons. One, you're not going to go through the ums. But the second one is more important. A good co-commentator is going to pick up on that, and they are going to pick you up when they have something to say. By adding those little extra 1 seconds, it creates the opportunity, the window for your co-commentator to quickly burst in. And Curtis is someone who taught me a lot about the art of play-by-play when it comes to Rocket League. Curtis does an extremely good job of reading circumstances, reading someone else's pacing, and the moment there's an opportunity, jumps right in with his play-by-play. If there's any kerfuffling, as you were saying.
Yeah, that's my word I like to use, but you're right. Do you have any examples of what you just mentioned? Because I'd like to look at the examples of you guys working together, and or him working with somebody else, so I could study it as well. Okay.
I do, but so much of like the CCA stuff is it'll have like 30 plus days, and that's it.
Okay. So I should just look at the CCA stuff anyway, in general, anyway.
100%.
Yeah.
The you'll hear it as you go through just about any high-level cast. But pinpointing exact, small, minuscule, macro moments is probably something I should do a lot better on the casting workshops, and that'll be work in progress. Like, casting workshops, they're just allowing me this month to start streaming these. And the goal is, as I'm taking notes, to start notating, hey, here's a part where I can apply something, apply a principle, and I can leave a little footnote in it for the YouTube down the road.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm taking notes on the stuff that you're saying right now, and I hope you are too as well, Austin, because, you know, this is very good advice. This man's been around a while, and you go out, if you want to learn to be a better caster, of course, you got to take it from the experience that you're saying. And what you're saying, I completely agree with. And I'm trying to work on these situations as well. I love the thing that I like to point out about yourself is just talking in a regular conversation. I'm keeping kind of like a regular tone, but you pause and bring and talk about situations like story reading and stuff. I guess that's what makes you such a great caster. Is like just listening to your voice is like energetic. Yeah. It's motivational.
And that's why I think in our previous conversation, you asked what I did, or I feel you felt like I did better than everyone else. It's exactly that. I draw people in utilizing my voice, and even what you had just then, you could almost see me on the VOD. If you go back, I'm like, there may or may not have been cringe on my face because the tone with which you just tried to emulate what I did, it was just a little bit off. It was off-putting to a point where. To a point where it's like, hey, perfect. It's like, yes, you are saying exactly correct. No, not that tone.
But again, as well, too, like, you know, you would agree. You don't, like, I mean, I admire your casting, but it would not work for me to either copy your casting or somebody else's casting. You have to also, you know, you copy the methods and the techniques, and then you create your own individual character from it.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and that's, I think everybody who goes through Rocket League casting specifically has gone through that phase. So when I was growing up as a caster, excuse the thought, you know, like, back in my day, I mean, I'm 34 over here pretending like I'm old. But when I was growing up, essentially, as a caster, when I first got my start, the people that I listened to the most and tried to take the most notes off of, Curtis was one of them, someone who was a mentor to me the same way I'm trying to be a mentor to other people. still to this day. You also had Jorby. Jorby was somebody coming up in the Nexus side, and at that point, when I really started emulating and taking notes from Jorby, Achieves, and Corelli, it was when they were doing the CRL stuff, because it was in brand, it was on point. I had, in 2017, 2018, around when CRL was just getting its start, they were the ones who Psyonix went to first to put on the CRL mainstream. There wasn't
Explain
technically...
CRL real quick. What that was? What league is that?
Collegiate Rocket League. So it is the Psyonix sponsored Collegiate Rocket League.
Okay.
Forgive the double league, but there's no way around it.
The Rocket League.
Yeah. So CRL 1, College Carball Association, which would be the Discord that we are in right now, was one of the originators of governing body for college esports. And they were made by students for students. At least that was the thought process back then. So you would bring in casters from all around. I was blessed enough to be brought in by, if I remember correctly, it was actually Bumney in 2017, 2018. Like a long time ago now.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a long time in online time.
So there are people who have been around longer in CCA, but that was before CRL had full on become a thing. 2018, CRL had its inaugural season, and I forget the production company that they utilized. But we were a parallel group. The year after that, I think they went into negotiating with CCA to help run CRL. At that point, that was when they initiated the B stream in 2019. So we had amazing opportunity to work with Psyonix to better ourselves. There was a potential pipeline of talent that could go forward, and it's really been the only spot in the Rocket League community where it's like, oh, well, if you get to this point, Psyonix, you know, at least they are watching you. And now, of course, there's tons of opportunities. CRL is not the only one. CCA and the B stream are not the only one. You can be on a team stream for any one of the RLCS components. You can really cast your way into some pretty unique spotlights, which is fantastic. The amount of diversity that we could have in the Rocket League scene is limitless. It's just a matter of people putting their nose to the grindstone and not stop casting. No, don't do it.
That's what I'm doing right now, mate. Full time every day, 6 hours a day already, and got a few more. And speaking of college ball, actually, I think I reached out to one of the admins. I'm not sure I'm reaching out to the right person, but to try to get an opportunity to cast in this league. Mm-hmm. But I haven't really heard anything. I'm not quite sure if I'm not talking to the right people or whatever. But or if I'm not ready as well, too.
Well, I don't know that much. I would be one of the people to talk to on that. I do know my list of people that I'm suggesting for Summer Series is... Not everybody's going to make it.
Of course not. No, I understand. Yeah. And you've got to take, yeah.
It's borderline limitless. It's but we have limits.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's old experienced casters that are favorites, and then you go. It's like any league, I think. Yeah, they give new people a shot every once in a while. There's also backup reserve people as well. Somebody can't make it.
Yeah.
Somebody else can probably step in. Things like that, of course. Like I just want to find out if I'll be a part of the community where there's an opportunity to say, hey, I'm available these days, and if I'm not selected, I'm not selected. Same thing happens, with United Rogue and other leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would recommend, regardless, continue to diversify your portfolio of places where you work, things that you're able to do. Like that's probably the most important part of commentary, because what I am doing right now, I've taken a pretty large step back from the amount of personal casts that I've been doing, and in that I've been taking a lot of step forwards in back end administration, trying to put on the casting workshops. It works not only as an opportunity to be an outreach to the community at large and give, whether it be someone who's in the CCA community or someone who's outside of it, an opportunity to grow themselves if they want to be here. But it also gives an opportunity for me as someone who is looking at talent and trying to find ways to put people into positions or give suggestions that are relevant, suggestions that Psionics wants to see. And that's what this is all about. It's the perfect opportunity to blend all of it together. At the same time, create community, because there are so few ways of outreaching to people in the Rocket League community. I mean, outside of in-game, or you know the person personally.
You're right, and this workshop at the moment, I mean, and Austin, because I mentioned to Austin, hey, Austin was interested, and I'm like, with other people, this is a man that's offering his time. He's going to give you advice, and it's crucial advice. I'm surprised more people aren't here. I guess time pending as well, but
well, I do get quite a few DMs like, can you do a different day than Monday? Because that doesn't work for me, man.
Yeah.
Which
no,
that's
I think that they've got to you got to kind of decide at the end of the day, right? Unless you're doing paid work or something, maybe take off the opportunity of casting if you can find somebody else to replace, and come and listen to the casting workshop, because this is worth its weight in gold. You don't get this opportunity every single day of the week.
What I would say is most important, regardless of whether you're doing something like this or a podcast would be a very similar approach, because there are times where I monologue and it sounds just like a podcast. The number one thing is consistency. And that's one of the reasons why this month particularly, I wanted to do it same time each and every week throughout. So it was all Mondays this month, which was nice. It's not going to be possible next month. Because of DreamHack, the next casting workshop is going to be the first Thursday after DreamHack. So I would need to look to see what date that is. Thursday the 9th.
DreamHack, if you don't mind me asking.
June?
What's up?
What's DreamHack? Sorry?
DreamHack. Okay. So yeah. DreamHack is one of those traveling LAN conventions. It's basically a gaming convention. You can go to DreamHack.com and check them out.
Okay.
But they will...
Yeah. No, I'll check it out then. That's fine. That's I want. Yeah.
Here in the States, we'll have all sorts of conventions, like anime conventions. You'll have like the.
And what are you doing specifically for that? Are you like doing any casting role or workshops or any of that sort of stuff?
There's a few things I'm going to end up doing at DreamHack specifically, but DreamHack will bring in not only like there's the LAN party aspect of it. So, glorified LAN, everybody brings their computer, everybody celebrates it.
You're old school, I'm old school. I remember LAN parties.
But they also are going to be hosting an IEM, so Intel Extreme Masters, that's a CSGO major. They're going to have CRL World Championship there as well. That'll be one of the things that I'm involved in. Kind of indirectly. And then I'm going to, real quick, pull up the link myself.
Are you doing the Dallas one? Is it Dallas June 3rd?
It's Dallas.
Yep, Dallas this coming weekend.
Are you going to go to Sweden, Spain, and Melbourne after that one as well?
No. not unless they invite me. I know a few people, but...
Pay for the flight, pay for the hotels, you're down.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that is half the joy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is
it filmed live as well? Is it so I can watch it live, or is it just only internally?
So you'll be able to. They're gonna have the Intel Extreme Masters. That'll be CS:GO. That's gonna be live at DreamHack. The bunch of fighting game championship tournaments. Like they do the LAN party as well as a bunch of tournaments all at the same time. And so
Okay.
the fact
Cool.
that they're able to bring together like an international major for CS:GO as well as the Collegiate Rocket League World Championship, that's their main pull right there. They also have what they're calling ACON, which is an anime convention for Dallas. That's going to be going on
Okay.
at the same time in that facility in the convention center. So there's going to be tons to do, just as far as the Dallas portion goes.
Absolutely. I can see that.
And that's
yeah.
the DreamHack goal. Like they're trying to create a spot where everybody can go do that. Apparently, they're going to be doing. Really? The Fortnite tournament is going to be a $25,000 Fortnite tournament.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, Fortnite's got a lot of cash in it, right? I mean, those big, massive Fortnite tournaments.
Yeah, there's quite a few $2,500 tournaments that they're going to be doing during it. So like, you bring your own computer, you team up with a bunch of like-minded individuals, and then you go.
Well, the beauty
and
of
you try
that
to
too
get
is
your
that you
piece of
don't
the
get any
pie.
excuses about the latency, do you? People don't go,
yeah.
my internet was shit. No, not when it's LAN party. You got no excuses on that one.
Yeah, you're on the
You're right
land,
next
baby.
to each other.
Yeah.
You're right next to each other.
Yep. But that's good because it makes really good serious competition because you don't have that problems because you do have that problems obviously online, but
So
when you're in a LAN party, it's unless somebody's computer breaks or controller breaks or something, well, that's their fault.
so that's
Can't
just
do much about it.
that's DreamHack Dallas. They do this everywhere around the world. That's what DreamHack is. They are bringing
so
LAN
Sweden,
parties
Spain,
all
Australia,
around the world.
Netherlands, India. Wow, cool.
So let's see
Anyway,
here.
sorry, I will follow that. Yeah.
In all honesty, that's half the fun. Talking about everything that's going on, and they try to attract different big tournaments to these LAN parties. That way, one, you're going to get the best possible LAN environment for the spot. So, it's Collegiate Rocket League, a world championship being played on LAN. You don't get any better than that. And then
Absolutely.
at the same time, everything else is going to be going on around it.
Are you going to be live broadcasting any of the Rocket League or anything like that? Actually, to the audience, or
they will
online,
be be doing that. The B stream itself. There's going to be 4 of the CRL B stream casters who are going to get to bring 4 matches as far as B stream goes. My job while I'm there is trying to make sure that each and every one of them are set. There's no technical difficulties because we are supposed to be doing it remote. Here's the issue. Ain't none of us want to do that remote. The large portion of the B stream is going to be in Dallas for CRL Worlds. Like we don't want to be staying at home.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
So we are. I'm going to be trying to make sure that everyone is organized. Everybody has the ability to.
So you're more producing, I'd say?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be a production helper, trying to make sure that everything goes through well. And then there are a couple other things that I'm going to be doing while I'm at DreamHack Dallas. I got a conversation that I'm going to be having. I found out it's remote, but so I'm going to be remoting in from DreamHack for something else. But we're going to be talking about mentorship in Rocket League and in esports during that conversation. That's going to be a lot of fun. So much fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for that event, and I'm gonna watch as much as I can. That sounds massive. Obviously, in the States, I would be like, yeah, screw it. You know what? I'll fly to Dallas and let's do it. But I
will say the contacts that you can make at live events, and this can kind of segue into another one of my never-ending rants. But the contacts you're able to make at events like DreamHack go a very long way in providing you face-to-face with people who are decision makers. So, like,
I can imagine.
I'm going to DreamHack, but I've got a back pocket full of business cards. And I am going to represent myself to the very best of my ability. And hopefully, through meeting people like CJ, who is one of the lead producers for DreamHack, travels around with him everywhere, makes sure that things go down the way that they're supposed to go down.
Well, I guarantee you, when they meet your bubbly personality, mate, they'll be like, hang on, I've heard you before online. I know this voice.
Well,
Yeah.
that is the other
man.
thing. Like, if you truly believe in your personality and you have the spare money, find yourself a major convention like DreamHack and put yourself into that spot where you're able to sell yourself. Because again, those contacts are sometimes the most valuable thing that you will ever have in esports.
Yeah, you're right. Because it goes to show you, once again, the ability of how interested you are. And how much out of your spare time and maybe out of your savings, and rather go on a holiday, you go to conventions like this or something. Like, and then they see you there in person. You can exchange, and it's a lot easier, obviously, to meet somebody in person rather than try to reach out on them on Discord and all that sort of jazz when people are busy. And then they're like, I put a face to a name.
Exactly.
And then later on, perhaps for future business and references and stuff like that, then all of a sudden you're no longer a stranger. You're now a person that you've met. And once again, yeah, you called it right. I've been to conventions before around the world in different industries, and definitely best way to get contacts, of course, if you have the luxury of doing it.
Yeah. And not all of us have the luxury of doing it. For me, this is only going to be my second major LAN. I was able to hit up the original CRL LAN. So like the first ever Collegiate Rocket League LAN. I wasn't at that point any more than a B stream caster. Just after the B stream had started. And that was one of the most amazing experiences that I have ever had. I've done a lot of smaller LANs, not always Rocket League centric LANs. I'm very connected with a group called Unified, which is out of Wichita, Kansas, and they do multiple things. One, they bring esports. They're kind of like a miniature DreamHack. They're going to be going colleges to colleges, and they try to focus on said colleges to bring a LAN party approach in a much smaller form. Because DreamHack's pretty big. DreamHack's also very expensive. Like you may end up spending over $200 at DreamHack very easily.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sounds like my Vegas trips.
Exactly. But Unified does much smaller form versions of that, but with the same level of quality. And they have me around all the time to, one, be kind of a voice. I bring my personality. I bring the poppin' happiness for everybody. But two, I'm really good at explaining esports.
Absolutely.
Really, really good when it comes to breaking down. Like, we went to...
You're an esports ambassador, my friend.
Exactly. That is actually something I have on my business card. Nice. It's something I strive to be. And one of the last Unified LANs that we did was in a casino in a place called Lawton, Oklahoma. It's middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. But that casino continues to bring back Unified because of the fact you'll end up having a whole slew of people who come in for the $15,000 prize pooling that they have between all the video game tournaments that they're doing. And then you'll get, Bob and Sally, who are, 70 years old and just there to maybe watch a concert and then play on the slot machines a little bit. They'll be walking by.
Like, what is going on here?
What the heck's going on over here? It's so decorative. Well, you see, this is an esports tournament. And they're like,
what is esports, dear? You can imagine that, right?
I
don't have no idea.
It gets to that point where they're like, wait, so these kids are playing video games for money? They get to the point eventually in the conversation that they fully realize, wait, you're getting paid to talk to us right now?
Well, actually, sure. If they're asking that question, I would actually go to you guess what? If you're playing a slot machine, you're actually playing a video game for money as well.
Hey, there you go. Hey, you know what? That's a different angle of that conversation, let me tell you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you're right.
And in fact, isn't that's the way certain states there are certain states here in the US that are vehemently against gambling, but you can get away with quote unquote video gaming. So you'll have gas stations that have video slot arcades, and it's like video gaming. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember because I worked for a company in New York. One of the guys that I work with, he was looking at building more skill-based gaming. Skill-based gaming gets away with that whole, like, you know, you can put money into it, but it's skill-based. And we're not going to get into all that, but yeah, you know, there's always loopholes and stuff.
100%.
Actually work for gaming companies as well too in Australia. There's in online sports betting and all that sort of jazz too. It's all the house always wins eventually. It's not rigged. It's just that people are going to put down silly bets and that. Anyway, we won't talk about gambling. But yeah, as you mentioned,
yeah, we're not going to do that.
In the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah. But there are plenty of opportunities in esports altogether, and organizations like DreamHack are excuse the pun, dream come true. No,
it's a dream come true right now. I need some sound effects to go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have that level of production value here.
I have it actually. On my stream deck, but I don't have the right thing set up. But it's when dreams are made. You know.
Yeah.
We actually, I really butted in. I apologize. I'm eating and I loved hearing all this. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure Austin. I have another guy that might come and hang out and listen as well too. In a little bit. Sorry, I have a mouthful of food because I got to eat before we cast.
You're fine.
This is my my dinner show. The the casting workshop Kendo. So let me just listen. But yeah, Austin, you know.
Yeah, if you have any
questions,
questions,
get great advice.
Feel free to shoot them my way. I can give you.
He was just at the Indy 500 as well, too, my friend, this weekend.
Just came back from the 500 and even this morning.
Now, were you there with a group of people or just there casually?
I was. My dad was in the military, so for Memorial Day, I took him to the 500.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you for dad's service right there. That is fantastic. I know Memorial Day does hit home for me. My dad was a veteran Vietnam War. I'm thankful that he was never someone who ended up losing his life in war. So Memorial Day doesn't as much apply to my dad, but the fact is during the Vietnam War, the ones who got out were the blessed ones. So I owe a lot of my life and who I am today to those who did give up their lives. And mercy. It's an amazing it's an amazing thing. Anyway.
But just hearing you guys talk for now, I'm just sitting there writing down notes. Just okay, waiting for my turn. Waiting for my turn. Come on,
it's your turn. Let's go. Go for it.
Out of shadows, my friend, and into the spotlight. Your ego.
my ego couldn't take it anymore. I'm just come on. I'm waiting now. I'm waiting. Come on. It's spiking.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What
you got to ask questions. What do you want to improve? Ask him anything you want. He's here. He's time.
What would you like to learn? What do you want to talk about?
I had a question that I texted into the chat here. Here. So I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to get used because it's only been like 2 months, so I'm trying to get used to it. And what is one thing that will relatively help me to get used to making calls, you know, getting into the action? Because MLB, NASCAR, they're not really much of exciting, like, big kind of thing sports anymore like they used to be. But F1, there's just lots of exciting things. Rocket League can get very, very intense. Just how do you guys stay in with it? Just how do I get used to it?
Okay. So F1, NASCAR, MLB, all these simulation sports, there is an element of storytelling to everything that you do when you're bringing a broadcast. Do not be afraid to be a showman, and do not be afraid to be a storyteller. One of the most brilliant commentators of all time and I'll go to it every time, especially if somebody mentions baseball, but Harry Carey. Dude could talk about absolutely anything in the booth during a baseball game and find a way to end up making it not only, it didn't even have to be relevant, but make it entertaining. And
sorry, real quick, who was it? I missed that.
Harry Carey.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
It was, if I remember right, he was a radio broadcaster for the Chicago Cubs.
No.
Back in the days. Had a very
You're right. Yeah. I'm gonna search him and look at it later. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
had a very iconic sound. It was so much fun to listen to, and the comedic dynamic behind it was years later. People, they would have fun with his voice, his delivery, his presentation, and everything you would talk about. Who was the Saturday Night Live cast member? I think was it Jim Carrey? No, it wasn't Jim Carrey. I think it was Dana Carvey.
You thinking about Carvey?
I think it was Dana Carvey. Okay, I'm gonna end up looking this up. It was Will Ferrell, really?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, he does. He literally does everybody.
All right.
But
I mean, like as you said, he was talking about everything. But is that I might be going off track there, but is that kind of what you mentioned? Like, if you can find a character or something like that, or find a way. Anyway, I'll let you continue.
But he would have a lot of fun, and he would bring up earlier today had lunch. And you gotta love that place down the street. We won't even talk about that place by name right now, or I'm just using examples. Don't be afraid to tell a story when you are in the middle of broadcasting. The number one thing when you are commentating, and my crutch phrase, number one thing. But when you are commentating, one of the most important things is to make sure that you are comfortable in your own skin. The more comfortable you feel, the more confident that you sound with what you are saying, the better off your delivery is going to be. You could be talking about nothing that you know, but you keep the proper tone, you keep the proper organization of your voice. And you could literally start ranking My Little Pony. It don't matter what you bring to the table, as long as you are confident, you can make paint dry sound fun to listen to and listen to watch,
And that paint, there's a drip on the right-hand side of the wall there.
Exactly. Which is why some of the best casters you will ever hear, one of the greatest compliments you can ever get, I would listen to that man cast paint drying. Like that's one of the utmost compliments you could ever get.
And I've never got that one, so I need to work on that. That sounds great. Absolutely. If I hear that, and I'm taking that off my bucket list.
Yeah, there you go. Don't make it a bucket list item too much, because there aren't too many people who even everything's instant dry now. It doesn't work that way anymore. It's a dated phrase, for sure. But what you can bring to the table doesn't always have to be knowledge. It doesn't have to always be correct. In fact, more often than not, in my Rocket League career, I have given analysis that's been incorrect. But because I've said it in confidence, usually my co-caster can either play it off, or lean into it and be like, Kendo, I'm not so sure about that. But I will tell you what I saw, and that is that rotation right there was not enough to keep the defense in check. Oh boy, this team got its work cut out for it.
Isn't it? Exactly, because even and I do it a lot. That's something that I relate to. I don't, especially with Rocket League and stuff that I'm not aware of. But you flowing off another co-caster that actually has the knowledge in the sport for the event.
And that's another thing I would say, especially if you're a little more inexperienced. Don't be afraid to lean into your co-caster. Don't be afraid to, slow things down and be a little timid. Because
nice and easy.
Yeah, more often. I find that more often than not, it can be a little more difficult to work with somebody who is very green behind the microphone, but is also very outgoing and doesn't know when to stop talking.
Oh yeah. Just so do well, it comes to that moment, actually, we said, because he can backflip, because there was a moment in F1, I think one of the classic moments of Murray Walker, he was, one of the old casters, and it was Murray Walker and James Hunt. And then Murray Walker was like, yes, and he's definitely using his turbo. That turbo power or something like it's got past it. And then he passes the microphone to James Hunt. And James Hunt would say, all I can say to that, Murray, is that's bullshit or something like that. He just shut the other caster down in a heartbeat. But, you wouldn't do that naturally unless he goes. But yeah, that's actually Kendo, and I'm cutting in again. But that's a question I have that does occur a lot when you have a lead caster or whatever, a play-by-play caster.
Yeah.
And I felt sometimes working with people is that I'm waiting for about 5 minutes to get a word in, and I can't. I'm waiting for a pause. I'm waiting for a gap. They're going. They're just talking. They're doing all the plays. They're talking. And I'm sitting there going, well, okay, and then eventually there might be a pause, and then eventually I can say something, and I get to say about a sentence or something like that, and then bang, it's back to them, and then it's the same situation again. I find later on I try to cut in a little bit more, but that's a situation that occurs a lot. You would imagine?
It does. Yeah. It will happen. There will be times and it becomes awkward. A lot of the times when that does happen, you're along for the ride.
I kind of feel like, why am I even here? I should just leave right now. Just let him do the whole thing,
100%.
He's doing a great job. It's fine, but there's no need for me to be here.
Pickles, you did that to me in Saudi Arabia. There's no just.
But I'll let as new, and I'll allow you to come in a lot tonight. Don't worry about that, my friend. I'll let you call the race start and all that jazz. Anyway. I actually do that, Kendo, believe it or not, in all the race starts I ever do. I always pass it over to the co-commentator to call the race start. I never call it. That's my thing. Just to give them the ability, just to give them the confidence and boost as well.
Oh, yeah.
To get the spotlight.
In Rocket League, I've always loved short throws at the very beginning, because it brings everyone alongside. You get to know people's rhythm. You get to know here you go. How far are you going to take this? Sometimes they short throw you right back, and generally, if it's a short throw back, that's your cue. Oh, it's kind of like the little wink and the. You get the little tongue
nudge.
Get the tongue click, get the pointers out. Yay! We're gonna have a good time. Hey, people learn how to play off of each other, and I think that's one of the most important fundamentals at the beginning of casting, and it's one of the reasons why I highly recommend never, if you can avoid it, never solo cast.
Yeah, that's the number one rule with me. I know, and people do it all the time. I'm like, no, it's for me, it's difficult because I want to get hyped, I want to get excited, and then I want to throw over somebody to talk to, but there's nobody. It's like crickets.
Yeah. And
then I got to continue, and I got to pick it up, and I'm like, all right, the rhythm's gone now.
Which there is an art to doing that, but it's rough. It's rough.
It's very hard.
You don't see many sporting events where somebody actually solo casts. Now, I watched a lot of those soapboxes recently. That's a solo caster. Football matches sometimes can be like the World Cups can be solo, but then the World Cups are like, waiting for players. Rocket League and quick sport. Esports is just different, isn't it, Kendo? Like, I know, I can imagine you've done a lot of solo casts before, but you're such a caster that you flow so well with other casters.
When solo casting?
Yeah, when you're solo
thing,
casting.
the best
Yeah,
thing,
sorry.
the best thing that you can do is actually try to practice yourself on some of the throws and some of the pickups that normally would almost be hazardous to do with a co-commentator who doesn't know what you're doing. So, like, I can see solo casting being good for practice, but I always highly recommend you don't do it. Unless, I mean, about the only exception I would say is if you're practicing for yourself, or you're doing like a small community thing and it's a single match in the instance of Rocket League. If it's like a 30-minute commitment, understand you're gonna be rough on that voice. But at the same time, you're able to do things in solo casts that are completely different than what you would normally have in a cohesive 2-man, 3-man broadcast. So in that respect, there's nothing wrong with it. Being able to actually bring a decent presentation by yourself can sometimes be a big up for you. You can find ways to polish yourself in different aspects of your casting game by commentating by yourself. But it's better done in a mirror. It's better done by yourself on your own rather than literally live for somebody's production. You know,
So yeah,
Cap
that's
and
what I
Hat
wanted to ask you.
Productions.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Kendo, for warm-up exercises real quick. The lady once again, the lady next door of master's degree, Broadway, I think I've spoken about her before. She gives me coaching. She says, practice in a mirror, speaking and moving your mouth around and exercises and all that jazz too, right? I mean, we're going off the track a little bit with that, but that's warm-up stuff, right?
No. That is not going off the track. In fact, that is some intangible stuff that not too many people think about. Because I say that because the fluctuation of your voice, the attenuation of what you're able to bring, you're not always able to feel that out unless you sit down, you look at yourself in a mirror, you get up real close to it. Oh, you know, you start. I apologize to everybody who watched the VOD right there.
Social distancing, Kendo, but I know what you mean.
You know, you had to look at my yellow stinking teeth. Hey, at least I got teeth. No offense, Landon goers.
Back on my day, I didn't have teeth, but yeah.
Making Mayday.
Just
Anyway.
imagining Kendo with no teeth just trying to talk to us.
He's gonna cast a whole Rocket League with pretending to have no teeth. There you go.
Hey, maybe I might actually do that if you know what I mean.
Oh, please no.
And there he is on the outside. Oh my!
Isn't that also fun, Kendo? Like that's why I was doing this improv thing the other night, and you're actually you were in there for a minute, Austin, because I know you had to wake up and go to Thingo. But to me, it was also fun to try different, like just casting different events and stuff like that too, right, man? Like you don't know what the hell's going on of like anything live, and you just have to kind of wing something up and come up with it on the fly, or mess around, joke around, and maybe try different accents and stuff. I don't know, like.
And that's where I say, do it in front of a mirror. If you ever want to get good at doing an impression or throwing your voice every which way, do it in front of a mirror. Have fun with it. Enjoy yourself just a little bit. Do it in the comfort of your own home, nobody watching, and you could pretend to be a little girl. You know, I don't care.
My dear Kendo, I am the queen. My corgis are not impressed with your little remark. That's just character acting, so
exactly. Yeah. But doing that in front of a mirror can sometimes you can incorporate a few vocal exercises as well to deepen and broaden your tone and bring different thoughts, vocal thoughts, just utilizing the tension in your voice.
I have I don't know if you want to analyze this, Kendo, but if Austin has to do a introduction video tonight, I would like him to actually try doing the introduction. It's a Formula One introduction track intro. It's a short little clip.
Oh,
Do you think he should try to just wing it and watch it live and go for it and talk about it?
Do that right now. We can talk about it.
I'll play it. I can't send it to you because I have it, but
are you able to show it in the or stream it in the?
Yeah, I can
Discord?
stream it in the Discord. Yeah, because Austin's going to be casting tonight, and Austin, you want a little bit more of the spotlight, mate. I can throw you into that. It'd be. I'm just trying to find where I download it. It's a track intro.
Just give me as much as you need. Just give me as much spotlight as you think I need.
Well, that's a good thing about Kendo's going to be able to listen to you and kind of like have a listen and see. Oh shit, it's going to be really loud here, but it's only a minute 30, right? It's a Formula One introduction, so I'll share it.
Kendo's gonna be watching.
Well, people are going to be watching tonight, but you've got Kendo here to have a listen and give you some advice about this, mate. I mean, this is gold. You're not going to get that anywhere else. I got to scroll down and find the Discord. Here we go. You've got the spotlight, mate. There's nobody else here for the workshop.
You do have the spotlight. I mean, we can also go to some Rocket League replays if you want to try commentating Rocket League, but
absolutely, he should. I think absolutely. I'm not sure if you can see the video, but
yeah, I can.
Dude, I can't see the video. Oh, there we go.
Is you can see it now?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, I'm going to mute myself, but I'm going to play it. Okay, so we should let the audience.
Wait, before we start, what track?
This is a Mexico track Formula One introduction. All right.
All right.
That's what we'll be doing tonight, and I want you to do it. So let me know when you're ready.
All right, it's hot.
All right.
My door ripped, so I'm trying to breathe, and it's hard to. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Mexico Grand Prix here in Wales. Here for 2021. It's the Grand Prix for Mexico. It has been a long wait, but we are finally ready for Mexico City. Oh, I'm trying to think of this.
No.
Pause for a second. There. Can you read the text that's up there as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to read the text message as fast as I can.
I would say no panic.
Do you want to try it, Kendo, for example?
I can throw an example.
You give it a wing, okay? If you can read the text and stuff, I got it full screen on here. If it's good for you guys, I'll start it again. Kendo, give it a shot. You ready?
Yep.
All right, I got to mute myself and then go.
Hello and welcome, one and all, to Formula One, the Grand Prix here in Mexico City. 2021, Ken Carmen alongside my friend Biggles, and this is one race that has quite a bit of history behind it. The elevation going to be so much different from what these racers are used to. Going to be a very interesting environment for everyone. And I'm telling you right now, Biggles, there is nothing better than what we are about to see today. Multiple straightaways for you to be going down. You got 3 different DRS zones and plenty of opportunities for passing. 14 turns 1 through 3, always action alleys. And let me tell you, things can get a little bit dicey as we saw in 2019. Normally that would be around where I would throw. But
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But
all right, now,
you don't actually have to do an entire minute and a half. A minute and a half is actually pretty daunting. But being able to throw to your teammate at that point and just being comfortable. I didn't know everything that was going on.
Yeah.
But
well, usually
we
for the video
cheesed it.
intros for the Formula One, it's always usually been one person. That's what's on TV. It doesn't have to be the same, of course, online.
Ooh.
But,
well, that's a slightly different style then.
Yeah.
You might want to script it then.
Yeah, in that case, Austin, I will send you the video, and then you can actually make some notes. And that's how I've usually done them before. I can wing it now because I've done enough of it. But for somebody that, if you don't do it very often, like when I first did this a couple of times, I had to write it all down and have it ready. Otherwise, I'd be like, bleh.
unscripted, a minute 30. That's pretty tough, even for me. Like
I could try.
there was a couple spots where I was like, this would be a perfect time to throw to a co-commentator.
I know, I heard you, but you've never seen that before. You're not used to it. But these intros are generally the same for every track. Like, I mean, I could do it and just go like, And welcome along, everybody, to the Formula One Championship. We're going to be up to the highest elevation here. We've welcomed to Central America. It is Mexico in 2021, one of the classic tracks. The Automódromo Jaime Rodriguez first appeared in Formula One back in 1963 and gets his name from the Rodriguez. The next two races will take place on the highest altitudes on the Formula One calendar, Mexico City, 7,300 feet or 2.2 kilometers high elevations. But this is a city known for its parties, its atmosphere, it's Mexico, and it's one of the greatest tracks you're going to find in Formula One, 4.3 kilometers. And, I can go on and go on and go on. But, I'm used to those intros.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, Austin, if that's the kind of thing you would like. I'll send you the video and see if you can try something like that, mate. You will know the time and that sort of jazz. But yeah, Kendo, I like what you were mentioning, trying some Rocket Ball out.
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Because I think because Rocket League is fun. I mean, how about Austin, you and Kendo go for a bit of casting there on something. I've already had the luxury of casting with Kendo before, Austin. No, you give it a shot, mate. He's a fantastic lead. He'll throw it straight at you and you can just do the play. And if you fall, if you stumble or whatever, he's going to pick you up, man. He'll pick you up.
Usually.
Good to know.
Usually.
Sorry, I left.
No, you're fine.
My roommate was going to make coffee because he's going to study all night long because he has exams tomorrow morning. So I was going to show him how to make one of my favorite coffees.
Ooh.
And
what is your favorite coffee?
I like to... Normally not a black, but like a very lots of whipped cream iced tea coffee.
Iced tea coffee. Ooh.
Add like a dash of iced tea, a little not a lot of half and half, but just a little bit. But a lot of whipped cream.
Okay, yeah. I too am someone who likes a little bit of coffee with whatever I'm putting into it. So you're right up my alley when it comes to that. I 100% would enjoy.
Real quick, Austin, are you sitting in your chair slouching when you're speaking, or you got your back up straight? How is your posture?
I slouch.
Kendo, that's probably something I'm noticing. I'm hearing it. Right? Is there any tips to that, Kendo? Like posture wise, I mean, standing to cast is one of the best things. I think we spoke about that a few casting workshops ago, right? But I mean, if you don't have the luxury, for sure. I've found, especially when you're doing work interviews or when you're trying to be engaging, the best thing that you can do is sit a little bit forward. So me personally, where I am right now in attention to my computer or to the setup that I'm on, I'm actually sitting. I'll turn forward here, try not to move myself too much and try not to break my chair in the process, but I'm really far forward. This would be more reclined right there, but the more attention or at attention you are, it does come out in your voice and it comes out in your delivery. It makes things a little bit more engaging. Not always, it's not always a complete, no, if you don't do this way, it's game over. No, it's not like that whatsoever. All right, so, Kendo, mate, let's put Austin on the spotlight, mate, to working with one of the best casters for a bit of Rocket League. I want to hear this. Whatever you want to do, mate. It's your workshop.
Have you ever broadcasted Rocket League before, Austin?
I've never broadcasted Rocket
Have
League.
you watched Rocket League before?
I've played Rocket League. I've watched Rocket League.
Okay. So, did you watch RLCS this last weekend?
I most certainly did not. I was probably either A, busy, or B, doing something else.
Okay. Well, this will be fun.
Okay, we said A, busy, or B, doing something else. That's good. Like, when you're answering questions like that, I like that.
So we will just have a little bit of fun with it. Don't worry too much about it. We'll have a conversation about what we see in front of us. It doesn't have to be perfect. can just be two people having a fun time. There we go. Okay. I was making sure that I get everything on there. Since this is going to be the first time you've ever casted a Rocket League game, I will not torture you. Please tell me I have more than just professional games.
All right, good to know.
I hope I have more than just professional. Oh boy. Okay. There we go. This is perfect. This is gonna go.
What have you got? Oh, you got replays saved everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, I got enough. I got enough replays to last a long time. We go all the way back. Let's see here.
You're a father or something, mate. You'll be seeing your kids will be going. You used to use your hands to actually control games.
Well, here's how you know I'm a dad. Those are all games that my son saved.
Okay, there it is.
All of it came from his kids.
Is he better than you? That's the question I'd like to ask.
You know what? I'll share something with you here. We'll throw this up in the... Let's see. So back in the day, this was almost This was almost 5.5 years ago. I think that I sent this in. I'd have to double check myself before I wreck myself.
You gonna check yourself? Yeah, I know you're going.
Let's see. I know it's in my Discord somewhere.
Trying to look for it.
August the 10th, 2019. That was the first recording, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 minutes and 20 and change. 2019. I only noticed Rocket League, I think, in probably the pandemic. Yeah, probably around the pandemic time. Yeah, but then I was in F1, so yeah, maybe 2020.
2019? I think I was, a sophomore in high school at that point?
Yeah, you weren't born then. I don't think.
I'll throw this up in the casting workshop, but you can watch it at your own leisure. This was just a little bit of back and forth that I had with my son, and we sent it in to we sent it into what at the time was called Rocket Dailies, and that was a gentleman who was doing a best play of the week sort of thing. And was giving away $25.
25 big ones for a competition. All right.
Yeah, it was I forget if it was a week or if he was. No, it was Rocket Daily. So it was literally best Rocket League play of the day. So we submitted that, and we ended up winning Rocket Dailies. This was when my son, I think, was 6.
No kidding.
Oh, what a play! Look at this giving.
That went relatively silent way so quickly.
Yeah, he's he's been around the block a few times. He's got a couple of laps on the sun. Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
He's still young, buddy.
Now my son, on the other hand, he is the reflection of perfection. Look at that. Look at that young goat.
Or you looking? I'm looking at. Oh, you watching the video?
Oh yeah, I'm watching the video. All right, Daddy, I'm going ham. I love it.
How old is your kid?
He is now 10.
Oh, I saw him there now. He's high-fived you.
Look at this give and go, ladies and gents. 1, 2, off the bar.
Are those glasses permanently attached to you?
Almost.
Yeah.
So
I like it's your trademark. It's a good trademark. Like anything. Like I got the top hat. It's a trademark.
It is.
I started with that.
To be honest,
to be separate than everybody else. You know, that's what I've decided to do, and you stick with it. Like your trademarks with the glasses, I think as well too.
The whole reason behind it is I had light sensitivity issues to a point where I was having headaches up to 5 days a week. So, and that went on for more than a year. So it was constant pain. And the company that makes this pair of glasses is called Theraspecs, and they essentially advertise, hey, our glasses cut glare on lights. It's
See,
blue
Kendo,
light
that's the
protective.
thing. You should. I feel you should be sponsored by them or something like that, because that would actually, because the amount of casting you. I mean, on seriousness, the amount of casting you do, that should be really good for everybody that's watching and following and goes through the same thing, right?
Yeah, I've been in contact with them about it in the past, and maybe one day it'll be a big thing. But they're a very small company. They don't usually have the income to be like, "Hey, we are gonna sponsor you."
Well, isn't
I
that the
would
best
love.
way? How much is advertising going to cost them? I mean, it's going to be cheaper advertising to have you exposed to thousands and thousands of people online.
That is true.
Yeah, well,
That
I
is
mean-
true.
I mean, well, otherwise they could put a TV ad and pay ridiculous amounts of money and understand that nobody under 20 watches television anymore. So, yeah, how's that one going to pan out?
They are a very stellar company when it comes to the amount of service that they do behind their glasses. I've had a couple of issues with the glasses, and almost every single time it's like, hey, we're going to send you another pair of the exact same thing. It comes with the box, or it comes with a shipping label. Ship back the old ones. There you go. It's like,
Oh, that's cool.
lifetime.
Yeah.
It's not even a lifetime warranty. Like I had the arm break on one of them a year and a half after the fact. And it's like, hey, I'd like to get my arms serviced. What do I got to do to send that in? And be like, oh, well, that's just unacceptable. We need to send you a new pair. I'm like,
That's a good company. That's a
will
personal
y'all
company.
Will y'all please let me pay? It's like, no.
Well, they want to take care of their customers, my friend. But yeah, and they should be taking care of the customers by, well, eventually. You never know what's going to happen. But that's good to know. I didn't know that about you. And I'm glad that that's panning out for you quite well. You're not getting headaches and all that sort of jazz from screen time.
Oh yeah. It's really good.
All right, Austin, come on, you got to be up. He's got to get this all ready for you. He's got to get it rolling, mate. You got to get to work with the best. Don't stress.
Yeah, no stress.
Yeah, mate, it's just flow. Kendo's really, really. I mean, when I casted up Kendo, it was like it doesn't matter what I was like. Kendo, I don't even know what to say anymore. Pass it over to you, and you know.
Let's see here. Okay, now this, you're gonna have to bear with me on this one. Okay. This was from a minor league esports. This was back when it was minor league doubles match. So it's twos. It'll be a little easier to follow. And then everyone watching at home, I'm glad I've improved at playing the game from what you're about to see.
Everyone at home, please bear with me.
So I'll go ahead and do an intro. We can do a real quick throw. There will be times where I pause this because in replays there is no goal replay. I'll try to carry you through the goal calls. That way, we'll end up throwing to you at the start of kickoffs once that happens. But let's just have a conversation about. Okay, let me back this up just a second. What I'd like us to do is have a conversation like we are two guys on the couch, maybe a little bit of expertise, we enjoy what we're seeing. We enjoy the game that we're watching, and let's approach it from that direction. Just be comfortable, have a conversation. Okay?
All right.
And I'll try to add little bits of showmanship in there as well while I'm at it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are live. Welcome. It is Minor League Esports. We are going to be watching some doubles action. It's going to be the Sharks, Great God Zeus, and Lightning going against the Bulls. It's Chaser and Kendo. I am Odd Neck Slice, and I've got my friend Austin Smith with me today. Austin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Kendo. How about you?
Oh my goodness, I have done very well. And just before we got on this broadcast, I know I shouldn't do this, but it behooves me to say a thank you to our friends over at Halo Top Ice Cream, bringing ice cream to those of us with much, much higher standards of dieting. You gotta love low-carb ice cream for those of us who are trying to stay on that keto diet.
Low carb ice cream that still tastes like your everyday ice cream.
Yes. Oh, it's so good, my friend. But we're talking about ice cream. I mean, sit down, enjoy yourself. We got ourselves a game. And right off of the kickoff, this is not good for the Bulls. It is the Sharks and Lightning who will strike first.
Just absolutely beautiful. It was a great play. What's even better, it got the kaboom. So it came out the smoke. It even looked like an action scene. It looked really nice.
Well, first goal will go to that Sharks team, and I'm very interested to see how the Bulls are able to respond. Will they live up to their namesake? Will they go charging into the night, or will they find themselves that goal behind for a little bit longer? So far, seems like that'll be the case.
Most certainly. like you said, because they live up to their name. Mess with the Bulls, get the horns, or will you mess with the Bull and get away without horns? Is my question. Get horns, or will you get no horns?
You know, I do have a little spot on my wall. I wouldn't mind racking a couple bull horns, but racking up, it'll be exactly what Chaser and Kendo do together. That's an equalizer goal there. 4:06 left on the clock.
I think that's just called teamwork right there. That was a beautiful play.
I agree completely. You love to see it, and that is the essence of what twos should be in Rocket League. Find your teammate, create with your teammate, and work in cohesion. Undividable unit. Great God Zeus, a shot on will be just high and to the side. They're going to wish they had that one back.
They will certainly wish they had that one back, with a wide open goal. Just completely missed out, and he's not going to be happy with him after this game.
Absolutely. And Kendo now will get up over one. Another inaccurate touch, but that is one of the joys here in minor league esports. You do have skill-capped leagues, which you can grow in. Chaser's going to get a high lofter off the backboard. Kendo not there to respond. And the Bulls, while they aren't getting anything on net, they are looming, and the amount of pressure they've been able to put on the Sharks has, well, given us the scent of blood in the water.
I don't know. I think the Sharks have the blood in the water. It may just be that way in the next 3 minutes.
Ooh, Kendo around one, not able to get around the great god that is Zeus on the back end. And the Sharks, they're starting to circle into the offensive zone. They go. Great defense yet again. Kendo follows his own touch all the way through and is going to be able to push this one into the offensive zone. My issue is there's no control after they get through the midfield, however, Austin. And that seems to be what their greatest lack is, the Bulls. They have free reign of the ball, but they just give it up from long range.
I know, once you get into the offensive zone, you want to control. You want to be able to have possession once you get into the offensive zone, not give it away immediately. I guess you can say it's kind of like hockey. Once you get to like the mid ice or midfield, you want to try to control it into that offensive zone, and that's what's very crucial. That's what the Bulls are completely lacking.
I love the fact that you picked up hockey right there, and Chaser, that is a ball on the line, doesn't go in. An absolute tragedy here with 2 minutes to go. This one might go all the way back. Kendo is on it, and that is quite the pinch to at least clear it out. But yeah, dump and chase clearly not working for either of these teams. A little bit more carry, and Kendo might oblige.
What a move by Kendo.
Now Great God Zeus shot straight on. Shadowed well by Chaser. Chaser now looking to bring this in the offensive zone. Once again, lacking the control through the midfield. And we are seeing time whittle itself down. 80 seconds to go. And it just seems like everyone's lost. Kendo with the pickup, but again, another giveaway. That is a giveaway in a dangerous spot. This is going to be centered, and Lightning gets together with Zeus. That might be an open net. Kendo around one, the shot, the score, and it is 2-1 with a minute to go.
What a lack of defensive plays. The great god of Zeus did have that ball lined up center, just collided with him. That left the net wide open. and Kendo took advantage of that.
Well, now, crunch time. We're getting down to the wire. This is a one game to rule them all circumstance. No best of fives here. You don't want to go away on the losing end of this stick, and the Bulls have the advantage. It's 49 now. Kendo, the little bit of a backflip will keep this in dangerous confines, but Lightning will see that ball out with astute control.
Well, the good shot. Oh, a good block by Chase. Had that thing centered the entire way. Kendo with the long range goal.
When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. And Kendo able to make something happen from a distance. Those are the types of goals you do not expect to happen. It's hard to account for them.
Especially don't see those a lot anymore in Rocket League, ever.
They are very few and far between, with the attention to defense more often than not. So many people rotating well. That's very rare to see that kind of pinch. And Chaser adding insult to injury. 20 seconds to go.
Now it's just they need to play defense. Remember, there's still 20 seconds. A lot can happen in 20 seconds. Is their defense and the control in the offensive zone? Will it carry them to the end?
Well, I know this much. They can't rest on their laurels. No, it's Lightning with the goal. And kickoff goals like that one are going to become more and more hazardous. I'm saying there's a chance. 17 seconds left to go as we go into what may be the final breath for this Shark squad. They'll lose the kickoff, however. Here comes Great God Zeus. Zeus up the sidewall. It's a push hard off of the sidewall and down. And with 6 seconds to go, Lightning may get this one towards the net. It's floundering, and with 0 seconds, they will score. It's not enough to win the game, but they do find solace.
I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of fun with that.
Exactly.
You gotta let it flow.
Like, in all honesty, commentary and trying to utilize your voice to make something sound more appealing than it is one of the most fun art forms. And I truly love it. I started it out as a hobby over 5 years ago. And it's so much fun to think about. We're beyond just hobbyist stuff. we're able to utilize our voice in a very different way. It takes a lot of practice, of course. But the more practice that you put in, the more attuned to those situations you're going to be. And I would encourage you, have fun with it. Because when you're having fun and you can hear it in a person's voice that they are having fun, they can cast paint drying, and it ends up sounding fun. Like that wasn't the best game in the world.
But we still made it sound like it was the best game in the world.
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun because we made the most of the situation. We made the most of the circumstance. And you can make a spot very interesting just by embellishing it a little bit. And part of that was my tone of voice. But the other part of it was the fact that we were giving it the attention that warranted something of great interest. So you combine that, you combine the attention that we were giving it along with the good vibes, and then the fact that we were having fun. We can come out of that 5 minutes saying, hey, that was pretty awesome. Let's do that again. That's really in essence what casting is. That's what commentary is. It's a couple people. They may or may not be experts, but talking about a thing that they mutually love, or a thing that they mutually admire, or a thing that they mutually have a respect for, that they're mutually watching. Any questions?
I think after that, I have 0 questions. I'm just in awe of how fun that was.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I need to walk outside because it is hot as all ever in my dorm room.
That is one thing I will say about commentary. Like, my office, I'm thankful for central air conditioning. But my office ends up being the hot box of my entire house.
It gets hot and sweaty when you're casting, that's for sure, mate. I'd put my fan up an extra couple of levels and get the headphones on and they get sweaty and stuff, but yeah. I know what you mean.
Of course, everything else in the dorm is cool, but yeah, my bedroom, the only room where it feels like it's isolated, it's so hot. I can crack open like 5 windows and it's still behind here.
Mercy.
Mercy. I got to get ready to cast this stream in a minute, but broadcast it. You can still, you got still plenty of time there, Austin.
I mean, if you're going to send Austin the
yeah,
video,
he's got a link to it. He's got a link to it in the video. He's got time to look at it.
I would highly recommend if you're going to have Austin do that, Austin, you should try to script something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to listen to it, look, I was going to review it multiple times and then just write down a script that I think would sound good.
Yeah. Just go in with confidence. Go in feeling good about what you're about to say, and just as we approached what we just did, it's gonna sound amazing as long as you're going into it with that confident tone.
Well, that's good to know.
Howdy.
Howdy, Cicero. Yeah.
Hello.
How's it going, Cicero? No. My mouth was full. Cicero.
You got
no.
My mouth was open. Woo!
It was going good. I was just casting the UTA Berlin Phoenix scrims on Vaudible's channel.
Oh man, I wanted to be involved in that so badly when he DM'd me about it.
It was my first time getting to cast that level of an actual ROCS player.
So
in
who won?
T-Gray. Well, we didn't get to cast the last game because Thunder came back in, but when we left, it was a 3-3 series.
Ooh.
So it was close. Yeah. Berlin Phoenix was the better team though. Like,
Oh my.
closer scores on US East and then crushing them on Europe.
Well, I mean, it is UTA.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So they actually haven't traveled yet?
They haven't traveled and they don't scrim at all apparently. So like this is like their first scrim like in a while.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean the cast like not the most like technically proficient cast definitely, because like basically it was me and the other caster who was Mocked Fish from EU.
Ah, yes.
We were basically just doing a lot of just like color and talking about the teams, like, you know, their lead up to the World Championship. But I mean, it's also a scrim, so really the play-by-play I felt comes secondary to like building up the teams for the tournament coming up. But yeah, I literally just was talking to Mocked for like an hour and a half because like he also used to play back in the day, so sorry to crash the session, by the way. Sorry, Biggle. Sorry, Austin.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Biggle, are you still in Panama? Or is it
Me?
Was it Panama?
Yes, sir. I am in Panama.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did not know that actually.
Yeah, in the middle of the jungle. Can't you hear the cricket?
Mhm.
You can't probably hear the crickets and insects and cicadas and geckos.
I remember you.
and
I just remember you bringing it up when we last met in the workshop. I think it was like a month ago.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, because I've had the ability really to do too many workshops
Mhm.
when I can. I'd love to. Because usually I'm casting. but tonight I had the
Oh.
ability. Well, I'm going to be casting soon, but yeah. And it was good to obviously speak to Kendo again. And obviously, I've got a lot of notes too that I'm saving here from tonight, of course, because you've got to learn, right? You got to listen, learn, take notes, and watch back. Because Kendo sent a few things, so I'm going to listen to as well.
Yep.
And also very good for Austin to have a bit of a shot there and have a listen to from a professional online experience. You can't get this. You can't. You could go to acting courses and all that sort of jazz, right? For sure, right? You can go down to your local theater and try some stuff in local theater, but it's not live casting online. This is a different ball game. I mean, certain matters obviously methods are the similar, but it's another level that you can't. Sorry, you can go to universities and colleges and stuff like that, but you ain't gonna get taught this stuff. It's here right now. It's free, and it's right in front of you. It's Kendo's workshop.
Well, it's the CCA Community Workshop. Let's not call it my
Yeah,
workshop,
that's true.
please.
Kendo show.
It's the
I just
Kendo
work for
Show. No.
It's a Kendo show live. Yeah,
No.
no, that's true.
I will-
I mean, yeah, but you're
I will
offering your
say, though,
time, which is
Biggles.
appreciated. Sorry, here you go.
Oh, I was just
Oh,
gonna
no,
say, it's like, sorry, go ahead, please, Austin. I've cut you off for all.
This ain't my casting workshop. I just work here.
Oh, he's got the puns. He's got the puns. I heard that a few times during that little exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll love to hear him.
Yeah. What was it about hockey again?
Hockey. I was just gonna add though, Biggles, since that workshop that I had last with you, Kendall, I think I've been trying to actually work on that theater side of casting, the more dramatic, adding to it. So definitely, you've contributed to my new direction of casting, I have to say.
And the fact is, casting truly is an adventure. It's a growth over time. Like, we don't wake up one morning and all of a sudden we're brilliant at what we do. Even the people at the top are constantly grinding. They're developing themselves. A perfect example of that is Spaceman. Over the last 2 years, Spaceman on A-stream casts, like the highest level RLCS casts, has gone from somebody who maybe was a little bit too hard on the memes, a little too much, a little too edgy, not knowing what he was commentating, to arguably one of the best commentators in the Rocket League scene. And I stand behind that. I'll be the first person to say when Spaceman and Supersonic were brought in, it started out a little bit rough, like especially for people who are in my generation of casting. It's like, wait, they brought these guys in instead of bringing people from within. I mean, obviously, you want to continue to grow the esport. What better way than to bring people who are bubble talent in other esports or ready talent in other esports and put them into roles where they have a chance to thrive. So what I appreciate more than anything else is the fact that Spaceman over the last 2 years has grinded. Yes, there's been a few memes here and there, and his style when he's being a little more jokey or he's trying to wordsmith comedy into things, it can be in your face. It can maybe even be a little bit abrasive, but it's really good stuff. When he's serious, he is seriously one of the, I would say, a top 5 commentator right now. Like, I would fight anyone who'd put him outside of the top 5.
Who is it again? You're saying about
Spaceman.
Spaceman. Okay, I'm just gonna jolt that down. Yep.
You listen to some of his older casts for Rocket League. It's a little bit rough. There's quite a bit going on, but he has fine-tuned himself. He's polished himself. He's improved upon his phrasing, improved upon word selection, improved upon the little micro decisions in a cast to be the very best version of himself each and every time. And that is where I will say every single rep that you put in is oh so important. Because it's practice. It's an opportunity to better yourself. It's an opportunity to check another one of those goals off of the list. It's like you go back, you listen to yourself, and be like, oh man, I used this term or this phrase or this specific word too much. Break out the thesaurus, find a bunch of synonymous terms, utilize them, make everything fresher the next time. Yeah, exactly.
You're right. You said it before, actually, when you were using some of these words. I'm like, damn, I got to start using them more of my vocabulary as well. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to kerfuffle the crap out of that thesaurus.
Right on the money there, my friend.
Yeah,
I have to go.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Kendo. Much appreciated, mate. You do an amazing job. I've got a lot of notes and a lot of things to learn, and yeah, with your expertise and your skills and your knowledge, it's been a pleasure again, mate. And good luck.
Yeah.
In the adventure that you're having in a couple of days, right?
Oh, yeah. DreamHack is going to be amazing.
DreamHack. Yeah, I'm going to tune into that as well. So
absolutely.
I said so, but don't worry about it. Worry about it.
You break a leg tonight. Break a leg.
Good job, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Biggles.
And Austin, if you wanted to leave too, go ahead. Or I'm not gonna hold you here. If you had any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them though.
All right, yeah, I have no questions. So I'm just gonna go work my intro, and then hopefully not panic, but
yeah, don't panic. Just have a fun time. Biggles is also someone who can come alongside you the same way that I came alongside you in that one Rocket League game. And Biggles will help you throughout. Do keep in mind, the Rocket League game we did, it was a very quick stint. What you're going to be doing tonight with Biggles is going to be more of a slow burn. So take your time. If you don't feel like you have anything, you don't have to speak up. But be comfortable in your own skin and with whatever you decide you're going to say.
I'm gonna try to be comfortable. It's kind of hard when your room's 80 fucking degrees.
Exactly.
Real silly, Austin. Like, is this like one of your first casts, or
This is gonna be my second.
Wow. Okay.
They are doing Formula 1 tonight.
Oh, okay. If I can give some advice, and I've only been doing this for 8 months, but if I can give some advice, mine would be like make use of pauses. Like, you don't have to be a mile per minute with your words, right? Like, you can take pauses and pace it out, and like, even though to you it might feel long, like the viewers won't notice them. So that's just something I wish I knew back in the day.
But with F1, it's gonna be my second go at it. But any like others where like if we're going MLB, like over American wise, mostly around like my 84th. I'm still counting over there at my notebook. Give me a moment.
Ooh.
I jot down every single time I do it, so
I knew I was showing hubris and offering advice.
I'm looking at right now. This is my next one would be my 100th. So there we go.
Wow!
Nice.
Congratulations!
I lost track. I give you credit because I lost track of after 5.
Kendo. So it would be my 99th total.
Wow.
Oh,
that is so awesome.
I wonder how many I'm.
God, 2 years could get you a lot of places.
Oh.
But I'm gonna work on my intro and hopefully I won't have a panic attack halfway through it.
Yeah,
you will kill it.
Don't panic. Have fun.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Bye, Austin.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, I came in late, Kendo.
No, there's no reason to apologize. I appreciate the input. Like I said, I would have loved to have been a part of what Vaudable was doing tonight. Thank you for letting me know. 3-3. I'm gonna want to go back and watch his VOD now.
Pretty sure. Oh gosh, or was it 2-4? When did we leave? We left at game 5. It was 2-3 or 3. It was very close. Like playing on US East, so like the Berlin team had 100 ping. Every game was a goal difference. Yeah. Like, it was actually really close. And and makes me really excited for LAN. Like, I definitely see why they favor Berlin Phoenix to make it out of their group.
Mm-hmm. Like, Berlin's real.
Yeah.
They are a
Yeah.
very good team. They are a little more segmented in the way that they play, and it shows. Like, as you said, they don't normally scrim. So there's a lot of solo carry. There's a lot of it's basically the Northwood style without practice.
Yeah. Most of their goals were Tigray. Just destroying Arlington players in front of their net.
But that's why they're vulnerable to a team like Portsmouth, who play together often, who are a great team value squad. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak from an experience, like with my collegiate career, like when you're playing those teams with one standout player and then two players not bad but like lower in skill, it's like there's a lot of ways you can counter that. Just give the ball to Tigray strategy.
Yes.
So,
let's see here.
And I mean, Arlington's, at least when I was watching, felt like the adverse Samba show with Nava kind of in that supporting role. So, but yeah, I mean, if you do got time, Ken, I did want to ask you some more questions about your opinion on my highlight reel.
Yeah, 100%.
It's unfiltered, straight from the source.
100%. Go ahead, shoot. What would you like to know?
I would just love if you could maybe like look at some of the plays that I showed and like talk about what you would do differently.
Okay.
Because I know you said that it's a great play-by-play highlight reel.
Yes.
I think at least not a good for my skill level play-by-play reel.
And is it okay if I show your reel on the pod here? Okay.
I was going to upload it to YouTube as soon as I got some feedback on it.
Yeah, it's currently unlisted. Okay.
Besides that, how was your last week? How was your weekend?
Oh, this last week was an adventure. I have 18 DoorDash orders to do tomorrow, so before the end of the month. That's gonna be very, very wild. But
I was actually about to say,
once I get my DoorDash quota in for the month, everything starts looking forward to the Dallas trip.
Yep. I was just gonna say, like, I was actually really gonna say, I hope the DoorDash thing's settled, because I remember the last time you mentioned it, it was like, oh, it was crazy last month too. So,
well, yeah, end of the month has been the toughest thing for me lately, because I have to keep the top Dasher rewards, and I had multiple events this last month, to where I ended up only getting maybe 50% of what I normally would have dashed. Now, I can do 18 in one day, like an 8-hour day. You're looking at... It's very easy to get 2 each hour. Getting 3 each hour is about what I average. So, once in a blue moon, you can get 4 each hour. But you have to hit quite a few very fortunate spots.
green lights, tight spacing.
So just right off the bat.
Gone from
Okay.
team revenge blowouts to 7-minute scroll.
So right off the bat, I love the fact, one, we can see the face. It's a clean picture. And you give a couple of credits to, where the clips have come from. So I may have never have heard of Melon Patch, like I've heard of Melon Patch League, but as someone, trying to hire someone, I may have never heard of Melon Patch League, but I can go to their Twitter and check out what their relevance is. Minnesota Championship Series. I never heard of them. Yeah, I'll go check that out. Ontario Post Secondary Esports. I don't know what that is, but I get the feeling if they're the Ontario Post, they must be the main Ontario Post. So just on a surface, giving credits is not a bad thing at all. You can do it at the beginning. I like this presentation. That's clean. Like you can do it at the end. I personally do mine at the end, but
Okay.
We've gone from Team Revenge blowouts.
I had
to
help
7 minutes
from
scrolls
scripts,
overtime,
like
to
SSG
whatever
scripts.
this game is,
Yeah.
As both teams have got 3 goals apiece, and the fourth one, and it's only 15 seconds. That has to be the winner, potentially the series winner for Team Revenge. If they can find it. Spider pinch out the backboard, ball in front of the net, steal there for the save. Can't get across Bond in the midfield, but he'll hit off the sidewall for Hesse. Hesse tries to pass it, the ball over the corner, put it in over the crossbar. Bala finds the fourth.
so that's a perfect clip for one specific spot. You have it's a pretty lengthy one, which I
Yeah.
usually recommend that you kind of whittle clips down. That way you're able to use the hypest portion of the clip.
Okay.
But I get from
7 minutes
this,
gross overtimes to
I get the fact that you are 3-3, big moment, and
whatever this game is, as both teams have got 3 goals apiece, and the
we're centering the story.
fourth one, and it's only 15 seconds. That has to be the winner, potentially the series winner for Team Revenge. If they can find it. Spider pinch out the backboard, ball in front of the net, steal
You're starting to elevate here.
there for the save. Can't get across Bond in the midfield, but he'll hit off the sidewall for Hesse. Hesse tries to pass it, the ball over the corner, put it in over the crossbar. Bala finds the fourth.
Big moment play-by-play call. So I hear 3 elements in one clip. That's nice. That's really good. And you controlled yourself. I didn't hear any breathing problems, or everything was smooth. Transitions out. Perfect. Don't leave any extra fluff.
Ledge has a chance to counterattack, but he will get beat by the backwards Rio, who beats 2.
That's my most favorite clip.
Just beat all 3 players, and now he's got an open net to work with, and he can't get the dunk.
Yeah, this one.
It's such a good clip. One of the reasons why it's so good is because everybody has clips of goals. And this is how you handled a moment that was outrageous because of the fact it wasn't a goal. So it's already a very unique clip.
Why?
And you also have another really good elevation, really good handle of the scenario. You never fall behind in it.
For the second time in playoffs, I think it's the highest my voice has ever reached in a broadcast, where I was like literally like.
So another thing, like this right here, people pay attention to what is going on in the games. So that one right there, 0-0, you're a minute in, you're in the middle of the series. And I feel like that was proper hype. Now, I may not know what Ontario Post is, but I know the Waterloo Warriors and I know Sioux College.
Yep.
And I also know that a 2-2 scoreline in overtime is big, huge.
In playoffs, the Cougars have been pushed to a game 7. The Waterloo Warriors getting a chance to counterattack, but Duck is there, not allowed to boost. Also, you know how I know you knew Sue? You didn't say Salt.
Yes.
Someone's like,
We'll get it in over. They will find.
Ray trying to pass on Virus. Virus touching up. Vanilla Ray the shot under the crossbar. They will find a Vanilla Ray.
We'll get it in overtime. He will
That
take
first
this.
goal.
You stayed in front of it. The transition out helps that. You stayed in front of that call the entire time. The transition helps you quite a bit, because if it were me personally, I'd be listening to hear if you went longer than was necessary before the goal handoff. But that also being said, in the moment, it's a 2-2 overtime penultimate goal. You're gonna go nuts. So,
I did go over the goal call a little bit, so I cut it right when I took a chance to breathe. So,
Which, I mean, the cut helps. So we got you in defiance.
Momentum back in your favor. Trent, though, tries to get the clear. We'll put it backwards to Scully, looking to pass it to a teammate. No, goes for a solo play. Draws out two. This will go up the backboard for Sean with the shot. Bottom right corner will find its way in. Yeah, is up 3-0. You're going home for the night. So
Exactly.
great format, great teams, amazing players. I hope you guys will come back for MPL. And my name's Cicero, and it was another fun night. Whoops, thanks for having me out, and I hope to see you guys again next week.
Clean. So stinking clean. So, like, as far as a play-by-play reel goes, this was a very good reel. Like, A+ effort. It gave me a view, 4 different clips. You were consistent throughout each one of them. There was significant build-up. There wasn't any whiplash hype calls. There was the ability to get hype for the unusual with the missed goal. And
Scully looking to pass.
if there's one thing that I gather from what I just saw, it is that you are very consistent in what you do. Like, every single reel has a theme. Your theme, whether you like it or not, is consistency.
I do like that, actually.
Players, I hope you guys will come back for MPL. And my
But-
name's Cicero, and it was another fun night. Whoops, thanks for having me out, and I hope to see you guys again next week.
I like the fact that you ended on an outro. Then you get all that at the tail end. Like, you'd back tag it. So, as far as a play-by-play reel goes, really, really good. Let's see here.
That means a lot, Kendo.
Yeah. I can show you mine.
I'd love to see this.
Not that. Not that. This is 4 minutes and
No,
50
that one.
seconds. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Now this,
My
on
eyes
the
are-
other
eyes are
hand.
closed. Eyes are closed.
No, this is my current reel. So,
You have the intro music for
what's up?
the intro music, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I put a little music on mine. So I made mine more of a presentation. But I also brought the music levels very down to where you're barely going to be able to hear it during the most important parts.
That's probably very important, yeah.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time.
So my thought process there. It's kind of like you did your outro. I did an intro. But it also showed that I had done something live.
Oh, yeah.
So at the time when I made this, that was really one of the few lives that I had.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time.
They need to keep momentum and rotation here. Rizzo looking to stall this ball out. Beast mode first one up. This one might go all the way. Rapid, they're trapped down. Beast mode, shot, scores!
Rizzo on G2.
2 with 4 seconds to go!
Oh, I forgot this transition is so good. So I actually like dog tag everything. So it's like level up live intro, KCP LCS grid semis,
Oh, yeah, maybe I should do
game
that.
time event invitational, eFuse show match, CRL B stream, Allied Esports HyperX, eFuse show match desk commentary, RLCS South America, ML Esports South America, more LML Esports, and a thank you. So I actually end mine. It's just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And a lot of people.
I'm going to try that.
I recommend keeping it shorter because, like, you'll go into. Like, keeping it under 2 minutes is best. Mine is a very.
Might go all the way.
Mine, I kind of just tried to fit too much into mine.
Rapid, they're trapped down.
One, I love the tagging, and yeah, my first intro was actually 240. Or when I sent that to Trippin, he's like, "Yo, you need to cut this."
So
for this one, I really tried to make it under 2.
Yeah. Mine is so much of a production, I got myself carried away in it. So the transition between first clip to second clip. But you'll notice how the music, you can still hear the music, but I brought it way down.
They need to keep
And I will also say, I think, picked the perfect opening clip because it's RLCS. It's G2 and KCP. Like,
Watch this transition.
Oh my, the demo's coming out. Far outweighing the shots on net. I'm loving every second of it.
that was
Which team will
cool.
be able to take advantage of the other positionally as they continue to resort to violence here in game number
mid.
5. Savvy Seal up and over, forces through. Illumar Mathone will put that one away. Ambassador to sweep.
So, first one, big moment, RLCS. KCP G2. Like, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
No, it does not.
Transitions into a demo. The start of the clip is literally a freaking demo, and it's me doing color commentary on the demos and story weaving the moment. And then I transition from the color commentary into a play-by-play spot.
Seal up and over, forces through. Illumar Mathone
Yeah, that's what I
will put
really
that
tried
one
to show
away.
in that longest clip at the start of mine,
Ambassador
was
to
like
sweep
being
across.
able to transition like that on the spot.
Yeah. So, and then I pull this one next because it's a college match.
It's gonna allow the setup here. Blanks, it's gonna be down for Chucks. Chucks just has to drive it around. He does, and now it's a 3-0 lead.
That one,
What?
that one was more trying to cool. Like I went hard with 2 extremely hype moments. So this is kind of a palate cleanser. This is I'm going to reset the hype level. I'm going to also keep up with a play that I fell behind.
Ambassador to sweep across. It's going to allow the setup here. Blanks, it's going to be down for Chucks. Chucks just has to drive it around. He does, and now it's a 3-0 lead. Back into the offensive zone.
Yeah, drive it around. Yeah, he does, and the ball's already in. Okay.
Shots on like we see there from Feaster on Bobstow, but it's been those additional touches through the corner, the disruption that's really been the Bulls.
And then, as you mentioned, also, it's like, you're looking at the scoreline, and that's like the third goal with 90 seconds left. So it's like, not a play to. It's not this is Rocket League, right? It's like, oh, you're winning the game, but you're still down in the series.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also shows some of my peak vocal speed as well. So like every single one of these clips has a purpose. This big moment, this
down beast mode, shot, scores, KCP up 2 with 4 seconds to go.
That right there, big moment. This right here, interweaving storyline into a play-by-play, being able to recognize that there is a
demo's coming out.
big moment
Far
and staying ahead of the play in this moment.
Loving every second of it. Which team will be able to take advantage of the other positionally as they continue to resort to violence here in game number 5? Savvy Seal up
and it's
over,
like one of the longer clips you have too.
Yeah.
We'll put that one away.
Like, so clean.
Okay.
Across. It's going to allow the setup here. Blanks, it's going to be down
and the
for
third
Chuck.
one's the palate cleanser.
Drive it around. He does, and now it's a 3-0 lead.
So, you also hear I was able, like, I vocally got behind that just a tiny bit, but I was able to speed myself up to a point where I kept up with the moment, and I was still able to throw within 3 seconds of the goal.
That is true. Oh yeah, true. Your throw out was really good, despite, as you said, being slightly behind the play.
This one is just pure color. This is kind of my curveball. Like you had the non-goal. This is this is pure color.
This has been their wheelhouse almost the entire day. It hasn't necessarily been shots on like we see there from Feaster on Bobstow, but it's been those additional touches through the corner, the disruption that's really been the Bulls' moniker. 28 left on the clock, and so Insane Gaming still a 2-goal lead. Crimson Wings, a sense of desperation starting to sink in. They need something. They need it now. And it's going to be a loose ball in the mid for 1-2-3. He's going to try to control this up and over. Gets 5-1. It's going to be Wellis. Shot. Scores. Oh, Insane Gaming is up 3-0. Put out Sleppy, maybe the S.
Desk segment. Desk segment with Lemon. Like, this was, I was so happy with this moment. The moment I got to cast with Lemon, like, I was fanboying that entire. This original clip is 1 minute and 10 seconds, and I cut it down to 30. Under 30.
I should try and find, because I got to cast with Seb for OCRS. I should try and find a moment with him.
Put out Sleppy.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, you want to try to show as much of your versatility as you possibly can. So unless, of course, it is like what you have right now, make sure you leave that as is, because that is a very good play-by-play commentary reel. And if you know what the position is that you are applying for, and it's like, hey, we're looking for a play-by-play commentator. Hey, you send them that, they're going to be like, nice. I like what I see. What can I say? I like it. But for me, this is my entire all-encompassing reel.
BVS and OSU.
So yeah, because I was thinking about that, right? Like, I have that shorter one, but I was thinking, like, what if I make like a 2.5-minute one that's like more hybrid, more color?
Go for it. Show off your versatility, and that is what this reel is all about. I'm trying to show off my versatility.
Sung stats, the ones that don't necessarily end up being shown on the scorecard. Shiro's come in.
Also, Pickle reminds me of a shaped Jorby.
We saw it towards the end of the match where Shiro just went ham on 2 players in the net. It forced Mizzou on the back foot and allowed Ohio State to sustain their offensive pressure. Tie game 3-3, 7 seconds left to go. As you said, off the kickoff, it's Reppy! They keep the position, they steal resources from the Pirates in the process. It's brilliant. Oh, what a demo! J-Dubs putting the Proteus to work, uses both arms, grabs Unforgiven, and that looked like a Skarner ult more than it looked like a physical play, just pulling Unforgiven out of the net. Hi, I'm Ken Carmen.
Hey, yo.
Thank you for watching my comments.
Legends in there.
If you'd like to see a little bit more on my history, check me out over at liquipedia.net under the
I love that little mini montage.
You can email me, kendocast@gmail.com, or you can check me out over on Twitter, KendoSlice.
Are we there yet, Tugboat?
Quiet down back there. We'll be at Unified Esports Festival 2020 here soon enough. We're not stopping until Buena Vista tells us to, okay?
For those who actually stay long enough, they get the special. So my entire reel is I try to show my personality in it. I try to show my versatility in it. And I was really happy with the way it came out. I also like each one of these has a purpose. This shows, hey, big moment, highest stage. This shows my versatility, ability to transfer my color commentary, stay ahead of the moment into play-by-play, and make a big goal call. All in that all-encompassing clip. It's my longest clip for a reason, but that moment was huge.
Yeah, like the opening clip to mine.
Yeah, and
that helps.
You get this one right here. It slows everything down. If I had to cut anything, I would cut this one. But I just had 2 straight super hype ones, and this one shows my speed. This one shows my ability to bring into perspective what's going on. And it's one of the pure color commentaries. Half tempted to pay someone on Fiverr for the reel. Hey, JT, I'm telling you, there are times where Fiverr is really good.
That's where I get all the emotes and stuff done for my channel.
This one also potentially cuttable, but the HyperX Arena, like working with the folks at HyperX Arena, another big name, you know? So that one's also kind of a name drop clip. So.
Yeah.
And that was I was remote, and Trademark Casts was Confused Caribou at that time. But he was actually live at HyperX for that broadcast. So it was really, it still shows every now and then on the LID Sports Twitch channel. Like it's in their rotation of repeated content. So big desk, you got to get a disc commentary moment. I tried to limit it to 30 seconds. Then once we go through that, little mini montage.
3-3, 7 seconds left to go, as you said. Off the kickoff, it's right.
So we showed all of that in about 2 minutes. Then we kick it off. Then we finish it off. We wrap it all up into a bright little shiny package that's kind of like the mini hype reel.
Like the dessert.
They keep the position. They steal resources from the Pirates in the process. It's brilliant.
And the goal is, once again, I'm actually trying to draw people's attention in. Just like with my commentary, where I am utilizing my voice to draw people in to a point where they're immersed in the content that they're seeing. I want my reel to be the exact same thing. I want people to actually be able to see that in the 2.5 minutes that they are spending on my reel. If they don't last that long, oh well.
And that's what Trippin told me. That's why I said keep it under 2. Try keep it around 2. Unless you got the content to
well, even then
to make it.
Even then, I could look at this video's results, and there's a really good chance that I'm losing people at 1.5 minutes in. Like my first video was a 4.5 minute video.
Oh.
Or it's like a 4-minute casting reel. And the amount of people that dropped off between 1:30 and 2 minutes was well over 80%.
Okay. Yeah, so it's I've only got a small demographic because I've only ever uploaded a couple videos. But like yeah, okay. So it's really important that you have like a clean, compact package to hand out.
If you don't have their attention by 1 minute, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
So I kind of bet on the fact that the content that I put out in my first 5 clips was good enough that people are going to watch all the way to the end. And if you make it to this point of my reel,
tie game 3-3, 7 seconds left to go.
You're kind of stuck.
They keep the position.
I will also say it must help having literally RLCS as your opening clip, right? Like, would you recommend that? Like having your big one as the opener?
I would recommend that. Like, if you have a clip that you want people to see more than any other clip, feature it.
Okay. Okay. Like, I mean, thank you so much, Kendo. We're certainly overtime now. If
I mean, there's still 45 minutes left on the night, so.
Oh, it's 7 to 10. I thought it was. Oh my gosh, I thought it was 6 to 9.
7 to 10. 6 to 9 Central Time, which would be my applicable time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will say I like the little mini montage almost more than I like everything else.
I think that your opening clip is just like
yeah, the opening clip is special.
And also your outro where you're like talking about it, like, you know, hey, you can hit me up on this, like my Wikipedia page, my Twitter,
and
email, like that.
There are a few people that are like, hey, you shouldn't, there's no reason for you to thank people for watching your reel. Like, they are doing it because they want to find somebody. and they're not doing it for you. I think this is another element of my personality. Because I try to be as courteous as I possibly can.
Hi, I'm Ken Carmen.
I try to be a straight up, this is the person that you're getting, straightforward, you know, absolute OG, you know, for try to get, try to get hooed with it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I try to represent myself as who I am, and I have to thank someone for watching the reel. If they made it all the way to that point, they deserve a thank you. That's my mentality on it. Not everybody would agree with me, but I would much rather show my character by thanking somebody for watching my reel than not.
I mean, yeah, I sympathize with that too. Like,
I want to thank you for watching my comments.
my stream outros are usually like a minute because I like try to thank everyone that like came by my stream. So
to be honest, that gives you you will earn contacts that way, and it's one of the reasons why in the past when we talked about outros, I was like, try to make yourself as clear-cut, concise, and professional as you possibly can. But also have on a list, okay, this is who we want to thank.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you are able to hammer that out in 30 seconds, want to thank everybody for joining us here on Melon Patch League. My co-commentator, Whoops You Gaming, our producer on the back end, it was Just Staying Alive. Everyone in the admin side, we had Mateo putting everybody in the lobby. And of course, our sponsors in Balls Guarana.
Yep.
Gotta love everything that was brought to the table here today. If you liked it, leave a follow, even subscribe. Consider you following us all on Twitter. I've been Kendo Slice, and I hope to see you next time. You know?
That was improv.
Like that, like you clear, concise, do that. That can be just as much a clip as some of your moments there. Like the
salesmanship.
Exactly. It's why I say having an element of showmanship in the way that you present yourself is very important. It's actually something, JT is in the chat right now. JT, if there is one thing that JT does better than a lot of people, it is JT is the ultimate showman. Oh, mercy. JT is so good at showmanship. I love
I'm going to follow JT real quick.
Oh, yeah. Give JT a follow. JT is an amazing showman.
I had by
the way, JT, this is completely off the record. How was the Planet Comic-Con this last year, or this last month, right? From what I understand, you got to go to it. I don't know if plans changed, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I had my first kind of experience with more structured ad reads on the OCRS broadcast with Seb, because that was a charity stream. And so we had 8 Ontario colleges pick different charities to represent. And so it was like, how do you weave in the charities that they're representing? How do you tell a little bit about what the charities do? Incorporating sponsors and partners into the broadcast and your throws or your outros and your intros and stuff.
That is that is one reason, JT, that I am so glad you were able to represent Unified for that. The moment that they called me and they're like, "Hey Ken, we were wondering which days were you at the Kansas City Major, JT? I didn't see you on Sunday. At least I don't think I did." You never got the call from Unified? What? Oof.
You said, Kenny, you said channeling your inner R2D2 there.
Oof. JT, I did not know that. I was under the impression that you did. Okay. Well, that that's mildly awkward. We will scrub. I thought you would too. I told them, yeah, put JT in there.
Just start playing some
JT would be
music.
amazing, especially since JT would actually go there cosplayed up and would look more like the crowd. It wouldn't be cosplayed as MC Hammer like me. Well, minus the hammer. MC, never mind.
Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, the internet costs at Bartle are insane. Yep. Makes a lot of sense, JT. I do know how much they had to pay for internet the previous time. And it was an obscene number. Like, I don't know who would pay that much for internet. That sucks. Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think that was a day too. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, lands and like cons and stuff can be pretty expensive.
It depends upon the group that's doing it. 100%. Like the internet there in it's not even good internet.
I mean, if it was good internet, you need like Elon Musk backing it, or
No offense. No offense to Bartle Hall. It's not even good internet, okay? No. Oh no.
Scrub the stream. You need a fade and hotkey for like DMCA music to just get it copyrighted.
Oh, the cliche. Let's see.
What's that? What record label? Is it UMG that's like all over that? Oh yeah, true. Just get a Happy Birthday play, and then that gets DMCA'd.
Oh yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
Dally. Wait a minute. Here we go.
The only thing Daddy Elon get back slow into is a corner. Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. The good old cliche elevator music. I'm glad it was the right one.
Yeah.
Just scrub it. Anyway.
Yeah, that's its own thing. When you are doing personal streams, it's like, okay, what audio can I play and not get copyright strike?
Yeah, pretty much. Was there any other questions that you had? Let me see here. I'm gonna go through our chat history. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
None specifically. I mean, I just really appreciate you going piece by piece through my reel.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 play-by-play reel. Just from the outside looking in. Like if I'm looking for if I am Goonbiel Guaco for Guaco Esports and I am looking for a play-by-play, I am seriously considering you if I see that reel. Because that is very consistent.
And I do appreciate the consistency part, because that's always been one of my concerns, is like being able to do all the stuff we've talked about consistently.
Oh yeah, I've worked with Guaco.
Guaco Esports.
Guaco Esports, everyone's favorite esports organization, next to Moist.
Oh, I'm one of those people that doesn't like that word.
You don't like, okay. So
no.
So you vehemently dislike Moist Esports?
I love
You-
Moist Critical, but Moist Esports is like,
you might be critical of Moist Esports. Never mind. Oh gosh, we go down the rabbit hole.
It's when they emphasize the S. It's like, fingernails on chalkboard.
Yes.
It's like, oh.
Moist.
Ah. Yeah, I again though, I don't think I got many questions. Just as always, I've been trying to work on what you taught me. Like a big thing recently has been I've been trying to expand my vocabulary for common plays, like when you clear the ball out.
Mhm.
Like that happens so much in Rocket League. I feel like that's the thing that happens the most in Rocket
Oh,
League
yeah.
is clears, and so being able to say dumping it out, long bombs, lateral passes, opposite corner, just like focusing on what happens a lot, saying it diversely.
There's not usually very much chat interaction, JT, but you have my attention.
My attention too. These are banger comments.
Moist drain drip. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's too much or too little, depending upon what way you're looking at it.
Yeah, that moist drain drip might trigger many homeowners.
Yes.
Gosh.
I'm thinking of it right now. I just replaced a sink that was struggling with a moist drain drip.
First week, my new apartment, kitchen sink.
I found out my valve connection in the wall is actually bad, so I'm gonna have to replace that eventually. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
No, JT, no.
No! Oh no, that's the worst.
That's where we draw the line. That's where we draw the line.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Casting Workshop. We are here, Kendo Slice, alongside our good friend Cersero. And Cersero, at the moment, we have the chat. We have everyone in the stands going absolutely crazy for Moist Hair Clog. Like I said, people.
Yeah, true.
People who commentate, if they do it consistently and they're able to utilize their voice properly, they can make Moist Hair Clog sound interesting.
Actually, Kendo.
Yes?
I've got a good question for you because JT brings a good point with the line, and I feel like you are the best person to ask for it. So I've been trying to get out of the habit of doing it, but sometimes I'll say things like, "Oh God."
Ah, okay.
So is that like, do you try to avoid that, or is that like?
So I'm someone with, I guess, religious convictions. So I don't struggle with that as much in my own personal commentary. I think the line that can and should be drawn is, does it add to the spot? Like, there are times where saying that can be offensive. There are times where saying that is not whatsoever. And I mean, if you're talking to an atheist, I'm pretty sure they're not going to want anything to do with that to begin with. You know, no acknowledgement whatsoever. You may offend somebody that way. So taking into consideration everybody's feelings is one thing. But also at the same time, there are instances where there is no better word in that spot that you can come up with. Those are the times where I think the line, you can disregard it for a moment.
Okay.
My source for that is not one that is in Rocket League. My source for that would be someone who's a Radio Hall of Famer, and that is Jim Rome. Because Jim Rome is somebody who doesn't usually curse. Even in some of his, personal podcasts. but also you get into a talk with, UFC fighters or people who are in that industry, they're going to break it down for you. And they're not going to be overly conscientious or selective of their words. They're going to put that in there, and they tend to use it fairly stinking well. And JT is also somebody who, I would say, especially with the way that Psionics approaches things, the line is don't.
Okay.
You're seeing the line moved a little bit, even in the professional side. Spaceman's kind of pushed the line a little bit. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Like, there are adults in this game, and you know what? Hell is a place, I guess.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So yes, I understand it, but more often than not, the line in the sand is don't.
Yeah, because
especially with where we are as commentators, and I say we because ain't none of us on the A stream right now. They look at everything you do in content. Yeah, exactly. Halo has F-bombs on the official HCS. Yeah, exactly. Like, they go into comms and they get all of the glory. So it does depend on who is your developer. It depends on who's your maker, and it depends on
your target demographic.
Their roles. Exactly. And for Rocket League in particular, the demographic is much younger because they are trying to make Rocket League the official esport of high school. You know, they're trying to make Rocket League the official college esport. They are trying to market themselves to a much younger crowd, and they are perfectly able to do that very well.
And I like what JT says here. Yeah, because first of I've never sworn on stream. But I've said oh god, or I think the worst I ever said is one was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And that was like really early into my casting. And so since then I've really tried to work on not doing that, and also being just frankly gender neutral with pronouns.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's really the best way to. Taking the high road truly is the best way to approach a lot of different things. Like, you'll hear me go with gender neutral 90% of the time. If I know somebody that I'm commentating, which does happen a little bit often in the CRL, then you'll hear me slip. But more often than not, you're going to hear me they, them. Just due in part to the fact I want to stay in practice. I want to make sure that I am remaining neutral, because we're literally living in an age where you can be quite veritably whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Free country, I respect that. I may not agree with it completely, but it's not up to me to agree with anything here. I'm going to love humanity the same. It's not going to affect who I am. It shouldn't affect the way that I commentate that person.
Yeah.
So regardless of what they are, who they are, what they believe, etc., I'm still going to show each and every person the same exact courteous approach and love that I intend to show to each and every person that I am allowed to meet in my casting journey. So
yeah, that's like what JT says about being very PG. Like if I had to pick a brand, so definitely I want to try and be just very inclusive and never say anything that makes any demographics
I don't know if you know JT, but JT has some SpongeBob-esque PG. Like, JT can pull some references from references from a hat. Beyond it. Like, he's got the
we're talking Disney movies.
Yeah, he's got the hat to Narnia.
Okay. Yeah, We're talking Disney movies and the stuff they pull in there.
Oh yeah, I mean you can be PG and also find very witty ways to spice things up. You know what I mean?
Part of being an experienced caster is being able to slip in those those late night jokes in a daytime broadcast.
I mean, not exactly, but if you can, I mean, I would again. I highly recommend if you have to question, don't.
Yep. It's always a good rule.
Keep your line in the sand. Do your very best to walk said line, and
yeah. If you ever have to think to yourself, should I say this? No.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
If you're casting a different game, go for it. Have fun. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you for your knowledge and your opinion on the matter, though, Kendall, because it is something I've been wondering.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm happy to give perspective. That is one of the wonderful things about this workshop when it's down to 1 or 2 people. Yeah, I imagine if eFuse goes back and reviews, oh well, we're not really getting any outreach going right now. No, we are trying to make as many connections as we possibly can. JT has just found a new follower on Twitter, by the way.
Hi, Bumney. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. But we're making connections with each other. We are able to have a much more intimate conversation. And I say that not... Given the tone we've just had, and we're talking about Disney movies, that's not what we're talking about, okay? Slow it down. Put Elsa
elevator music
back. Put Elsa. Yeah, never mind. Here we go. Oh, it's going on the soundboard. I love it. Anyway. Oh, the elevator music.
I think you're doing great, Kendo. And I've gotten to meet a lot of like cool Casting Streets workshops, which has like helped me find gigs like Sec Tech and Whoops.
Yeah.
Like I never would have got to cast Melon Patch League and Crown Esports, 2 of the big moments in my reel, if it wasn't for these workshops. So
absolutely.
Yeah, if you ever need a witness for the success of these and like the benefits, like first in line right here.
Well, it's more than anything else the consistency of bringing the same product when you say you're going to bring it. Just like you have podcasts don't succeed if you are wishy-washy about your dates and you don't keep an established pattern. Like if you're wild and crazy, oh boy, you know, you get the joy of being wild and crazy, but you're gonna find yourself having a struggle after 2 months to try to continue what you've started. And for me, I've been able to do different things like podcasts in the past on a consistent basis, whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, but that's because it requires structure. And I go into each one of these with a structure of, okay, so this is the game plan on a regular day. This is the game plan when the day does not go regular. And worst case scenario is if I'm in a room by myself, I can go through and start doing other people's VODs and or do my own VOD review. And try to make it relative to what everybody is seeing. There are going to be people who come. There are going to be people who stay away. The number one thing is that I am keeping myself consistent and being there for the people who decide that they do want to be here.
I definitely say that these workshops helped me become the consistent person that you said I was. Like, it's been so cool. Just like every week or every 2 weeks, I just finding something new that I can work on, which wouldn't be an option for me if I wasn't attending these.
And that is right there, the grind. What you have just put out is exactly the casting grind that I'm trying to teach everybody. It's not about You know, it's not about the gigs, although pulling gigs is really fun. It's about trying to self-improve, giving yourself a list of goals, long-term goals, as well as short-term goals, and breaking down those goals, breaking through each one of those ceilings that you've put above yourself. And like, okay, this is the one we're going to break next. This is the goal that we're going to achieve next. And if you can do that at a clip of, I made a mistake here, next cast, I'm going to do better. And then you go and do better, you're going to find yourself continually improving, moving along to the point where it's going to be such a polished and refined product that people are going to notice. And there, in my opinion, is where the true gigs start to come. It's cool to have contacts, but if there's no context behind the contact, if there is no body of work, it is no more than a friendship that eventually, I'm not saying friendships will fray themselves, but friendships do not book you gigantic gigs. It is the content that you bring. As much
That's
as
why we make reels.
Yeah, exactly. That's why when you cold call, you cold call. That's why, in all honesty, it's anyone can. We go back to the Ratatouille clip. Anyone can cast, but casting's not for everyone. Commentary is by no means for everyone. And the sooner people find out, okay, this is not for me, and they get out, the better it is for everyone.
It's the same for like any hobby in life, right?
Exactly.
It's like some.
So the way that I see it, there is a group of people that would be critical of me for what I'm doing right now. Like, Ken, what are you doing? We're already overpopulated in Rocket League to a point that it's hard to even get volunteer gigs.
Yeah.
That's kind of an amazing thing to think about.
Yeah, like looking back on it, like I don't know how I'd have got to my start with casting if I didn't already know people from the collegiate days.
But in all honesty, the rewarding thing about what we're doing here is the people who are going to get it are going to get it. The people who don't get it, I mean, they could come here 20 different times. They could get little bits and pieces, but if they don't get it, they don't get it. So then I just have to be consistent in bringing the content and addressing issues person to person. So like these intimate conversations. These intimate conversations are important due to the fact that I'm able to, on a person-to-person basis, help people realize just how much work and refining and polish and constant self-loathing, in my own personal case, goes into turning yourself from the commentator you were in the first 6 months that you did it to the commentator you are in the last 6 months that you've done it. I say self-loathing tongue-in-cheek. I mean, there was a time where I legitimately had mental problems, but I'm thankful to be in a much clearer mental state now than I was then. So
that's good.
It is so amazing that we get the opportunity to commentate, whether it be Rocket League or, I mean,
Formula.
I still to this day, driving home from places like Unified and the lands that they put on, I have that feeling of I'm exhausted, but at the same time, I know I made a difference in somebody's life. I know that there was a moment that I had in somebody's life where I was able to show esports for what it truly is. And that is one of the fastest rising industries. Something that should be a lot more normal than it actually is. Yes, there are people who, are always going to play video games, and it may turn into a vice. You can be addicted to anything nowadays.
Remember crates?
Okay, well, back to the elevator music.
No, you raise a good point. Like that's what I aim for with my streams. I was like, oh, like I can't I'm not there for good gameplay. I'm just here to have a good time and like show people like, you can just have fun playing Rocket League. Like there's so much cool stuff about the game for like how simple it is. There's like so much cool stuff below the surface.
Yeah,
and you just got to like take a chance at it.
It's so amazingly multi-layered.
And then also something I learned during I had an internship when I was at university, and like one of the best pieces of advice I got from this like really old technician at the company, like he was in his 60s, is like at the end of every workday you should go home feeling tired and happy.
Yeah.
Like tired because you put in the effort, and happy because you're happy with the results.
100%. If you end up with, and this is kind of a figurative addition to that, if you end up with one of the two and not both, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
If you end up being only tired and you hate what you've done, or you don't love what you've did, that sucks. Like that is one of the worst feelings in the world. If you end up loving what you did but you don't go home tired, you find yourself unsatisfied. You find
you check your phone and it's like, wait, why is that at 5% after a work day? You're on it all day.
It's also a false happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Like it isn't a true full-on I did a great job. It is I got away with another one. I got away with another day without hating my life. Congratulations. Congratulations, but that can change at a moment's notice. You go home when you are tired as heck and you're extremely satisfied with the result of what you were able to do in that given day. Oh, there is nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is nothing better than that feeling. That the goal is in commentary, and I feel like the goal for everybody should be put your soul, pour every ounce of your human being into what you do on the microphone. Try everything you can possibly do to put all of that energy into your cast. If you have to dance around like a penguin, dance around like a stinking penguin. If it makes the moment better without taking away from the moment that you just had on screen in game, get as close to that line as you possibly can. Thank you, JT.
Yeah, I remember you saying once in one of the earlier sessions, working on all these technical things as a caster is how you get better, but at the end of the day, it's a show, right? It's entertaining. If it's entertaining and everyone enjoyed it, then who cares about the nitty gritty technicalities? It was a great cast and it was a great time.
That was probably the worst part of my commentary, I would say 2018 through 2020, early 2020, late 2019. because I was one of the most entertaining people in the entire Rocket League community. The issue was I hated everything that I did because I was so caught up on trying to improve myself. I let it permeate who I was, let it permeate my demeanor after a cast. Like, you would have 2 or 3 people tell me, hey, dude, Kendo, that was an amazing cast. Like, yeah, it was okay. I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I didn't enjoy this portion, but we'll regain and we'll be better next time. That's such a downer, and I wish I would have seen it back then. And granted, that was a time where, again, I was so stuck in myself and so stuck in my own depression that I didn't realize how much I was affecting it. And I think still to this day, there's a really good chance that I don't get jobs because people's first impressions of me was that version of myself. Was somebody who did really a good job, but was so negative about the job that he did when it was a good job that it's not worth the time to ever put him in a role. So that we got really real right here, but
hey, that's what the best moments are.
Exactly.
I don't remember this talk, Kendo. That was a good one.
Nice talk. Wait.
Hey, nice talk.
Nice talk.
All right, elevator music. Fade in. Actually, I just came up with one last question on the spot, Kendo, before
Boom.
So, and maybe JT can answer this one as well. If you had to choose between upgrading your microphone and your aux, which would you do first?
I'm sorry. The timing.
Yep.
So, microphone or aux? You mean like the your XLR interface?
Yep. Yep.
What do you have for an XLR interface?
Gotta be honest with you, one of the cheapest ones on Amazon. That's the Behringer UM2020.
I think I remember.
UM2. Behringer UM2. Or Behringer?
Yeah. What's your microphone?
The Audio-Technica 2020.
You are.
Just curious to see like what because I'm not at that point where I can just like drop a whole load on like a whole system upgrade, but it's like if I do it piece by piece.
Oof. JT.
Earthworks Icon Pro.
Oh, JT.
Oh, that is a attractive microphone.
Very much so.
Wow.
Oh, baby. Oh, my. Wow. That was a Christmas gift from the wife. No kidding. Yeah, baby. So in you, I would say it is a case by case basis, and it would depend upon where you are, what your microphone is, what your port is, etc. I'm muted. There's
I
no
don't think
way
yeah,
I'm
no,
muted.
you're not muted. I've got the stream open.
You're muted. You're muted, Bondo. Get lost. Okay, you cut it out. Cut it out. You're muted. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Okay, so case by case depends on where you are.
And for you personally, yeah, you are at, like, if there was a starting combination, you're looking at a starting combination at right now with where you are at. Who's we, Bondo? Who's we? Are you hanging out with somebody? That's what I want to know, Bondo. So let's see here.
Yeah, I think Ox. I think
because
I'm happy with the AT2020.
Well, yeah, the AT2020 is a really good starting microphone, and then it'll go. I hear your lips move. I hear no sound. Just whoever you're talking to. Aw. It's okay, Bondo.
Hi, Bondo.
I can't hear myself either. So, I'm banning him. Don't tell him I'm banning him.
No comment. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, you got a really good starting combination. My personal thought process would be this. And it'll also kind of depend upon what you are doing. Like, do you do any live events? Do you have any moments where you have to go somewhere with a headset? Or
at the moment, none.
At the moment, none. Do you see that being a possibility in the future?
Oh my. I mean, I'd love to this summer. I don't think there's any land. If there's any lands I'd be attending, they'd be Ontario Collegiate ones. There's none that I know of, so I don't. For the foreseeable future, I'd say no.
Okay.
But
well, if that's the case, I really, microphone would probably be the smartest thing to upgrade first. But if you are comfortable with the microphone, upgrade your interface. And the microphone's a really good one.
Oh, okay.
Really want a Rodecaster Pro. Yeah. I'll learn how to talk later. Sorry, JT.
Yeah, because I just want something with a bit more control over my audio output. Because like the Behringer right now it literally has like I got a gain and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all I can adjust.
I would go that direction with it, and then you can learn how to play with whatever your new board would be. Keep the old one.
Yep.
Just because you can add it to a mobile setup.
I still keep my blue snowball.
Yeah, exactly. I still have a blue snowball myself. That blue snowball will probably come with me to Dallas just in case.
But you raised a good point though about the headsets, and I think I asked you this earlier. It was like a few weeks ago. Maybe I can take advantage of JT while I say, JT, do you know of any broadcast headsets that don't have over-ear?
Oh, that's right.
Audio cut muffs.
I'm so far behind on this. Crap.
Oh no, it's all good. Again, I'm not traveling anywhere. Yeah, for context, JT, I have issues with my ears. Like I can't wear regular earbuds or earplugs or headphones which like cover my ears. Oh yeah, kinda. Cause yeah, like those like fancy microphones that I see them like the ones that I like tape to their cheek with like the battery pack on the back, like those maybe, but those aren't really portable, are they? Or I guess easily set up.
Yeah, a lot of that is really expensive. Mercy.
Lavalier microphone. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I just know if I was at a land and I had to wear a headset for like several hours, my ears at the end of it would be in like so much pain. Like I'd have a massive headache at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. And these are all very pricey. I would need to go. I would recommend you go through and listen to ones that, like, there are a couple of really good YouTube. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, lavalier?
There are certain people to go to that do like sound testing, and they will teach you the ropes, and you'll usually end up with audio sound test. Like they'll go through and have you listen to just about everything under the sun. You'll be
Okay.
able to hear it. But I highly recommend going through YouTube, finding ones that look like they're interesting, maybe even in budget. Uh, there's there are microphones that are really good and over the ear. There are also ones like yeah. JT's on top of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not over ear, but on ear, 100%.
Yeah, because like the headset I use right now, JT, and I've shown this to Kendo. It's a bone conduction one.
Which is
It's the
actually
Trek.
really cool.
Yeah, it's the if you're showing on a stream, it's the Trex Air Aftershock. But like yeah, like it sits on your cheekbones and like just vibrates the sound into your eardrums.
It's like so stinking cool.
Yeah, hands down the best purchase I've made in years because now I can actually listen to music in public again. Oh man, it is so hard not being able to wear earbuds. So if anyone's listening and they have a similar issue,
I mean, that would probably be the direction you'd want to go as far as like lavalier mics.
lavalier.
Like there are many different ones. There's ones you can hook up to your, like your shirt. Granted, you have to be very careful about brushing up against yourself or adjusting to make noises. But they're usually smaller and they're much more easy to break and or fray.
Yeah. And yeah, JT mentions shocks. Like that's actually like first thing that comes to mind because she always has those lavalier microphones when she's on the analyst desk and stuff. So okay, something to look into.
Oh yeah,
something to look into.
Which I mean, there are microphones that are really good for that. Obviously, just Just you're
Budget,
looking
budget,
at you're looking at pretty expensive. Holy Moses. Help.
If I squint my eyes, it says $97.
Yes, if you squint hard enough, it's $97.
It's one of those swipe first, ask questions later.
And that would probably be the direction that you'd want to go.
So why'd you take out a loan?
Microphone. But at that point, you want to. There was one at Sweetwater for $50. What? Link this man, JT Cicero. Now kiss. JT is actually someone local to me. JT's in the Kansas City area, so he and I have gotten to cast together live. In fact, if you remember, the intro to my stream, the person on my left was JT.
I've liked your reel and saved to my playlist, by the way, Kendo, so I can.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look at two morbidly obese men. I'm joking, JT. I say that.
No.
Oh no! I'm devastated. I'm talking more about. I'm talking about myself more than anybody else. Mercy. They say the camera adds 50 pounds. 6'1", 210 pounds of me. And then that was me before I had started keto, if I remember correctly. Oof. Or I might have been in the middle of it. I believe this is the right time for an on-stream curse word. Dag. Anyway.
Lavalier. Okay, Sweetwater Lavalier. Thank you so much, JT. But yeah, that's the last question I came up with. That one was purely improv. I got no others for you, Ken. Thank you so much for your time.
There we are. I think he's trying to leak.
Oh.
I think he's trying to do link. At least that's what I'm assuming.
Just so for the record, JT, I am Cicero. So if you want, you can just DM it to me.
Okay, that apparently. Is it? I don't get it. Okay. Oh well.
Nightbot being weird.
Nightbot being Nightbot. I mean, it clearly says JT has been granted permission to post a link for 60 seconds. There's your link. Nightbot. Dadgummit. Okay. Well,
yeah.
we're ready to close up shop as far as the one Mississippi. Hey, Fluffles. We're going to close up shop on the casting workshop for the evening, and I truly appreciate you, Cicero. I appreciate Biggles and Austin. Definitely want to get everybody some support. JT in the chat hanging out almost the entire night. What a champ. What a trooper. Even let me get a crack in on him. My goodness, what's wrong with me? I can't believe I would say that about a friend. Oh, goodness.
That's what true friends do.
Definitely
Bust each other and then help each other.
Our next stream for the casting workshop will be on the 9th. The 9th. It'll be June 9th. Wait, is it already June? It's already no, that's not June. It's June. No. It's June in 48 hours. 36 to be exact. Or less. You did come in right at the end, Fluffles, but this is the casting workshop, and so it's a little bit different. There's usually very little chat interaction, but tonight was a slower night, being that it is the Memorial Day, and not everybody is going to be in the chat or hanging out during Memorial Day. I understand it's a very family-oriented holiday. So much love to everyone who has served. Much love to those who are with their family and their loved ones who have served as well. Happy Memorial Day to all. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening.